Hello, folks, and welcome to what is the third annual? I forget how many times we've done this.
Number three.
This is the OU Insider Signing Day special, live from Sooner Daquiri in Norman, where it is opening night. This is Sooner Daquiri's very first evening of operation. So if you are local to the Norman area, come on out. 305 East Main Street is the place to be, right next to the garage. If you frequent that place, Sooner Daquiri just opened its doors. That's where we are. Very, very stoked to break down all that has happened today in what was, all things considered, a very uneventful signing day for the Sooners. 27 commits going into the morning. All 27 of them were signed, pen to paper, by 11 a.m. Central Time.
Well, it was so uneventful that Venables is walking out of his presser, and I'm like 5 feet from him, and SID Mike Houck. And he turns to me, and you heard him yell. He goes, "Hey, Drumm, it's pretty uneventful, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that good for business or no?" And I said, I get to go home, man, and get to relax now because y'all made it easy." He goes, "Good. Then we're both doing our jobs." Walked out. So they liked it. They loved the fact that it was uneventful. They loved the fact that there was nothing really outside of the Taylor Tatum stuff. I mean, it just – and look, I want people to understand that are dogging on certain people. The recruit told him that he was likely signing. So we've all been there before. We've all been there where something like that's happened, and things change. So it is what it is. That reporter did their job. So nonetheless, uneventful. Tatum signed in the midst of the presser, said that Mike Houck told everybody. Then Brent Venables instantly went into talking about Taylor Tatum and what he brought to the table. He thanked Skip Johnson, all that type of stuff. So all in all, Oklahoma with the number 6 overall class, according to Rivals.
That'll do.
That's 3 straight top 8 classes for one Brent Venables. I mean, if you're going into the SEC, that about is how you want to do it. And especially with the defensive line class that we have, seen Oklahoma get, I guess, as far as the 2024 class goes. And they brought in a lot of guys in 23. They brought in a lot of guys in 22 as far as transfer portal and stuff like that. And one of them is already here on site, Mr. 5-star David Stone, and we'll get to him later on tonight.
He's the headliner, and he's the closer. We will have him on at 9:45 Central Time. We got 3 hours of programming ahead. We're going to talk to 11 members of Oklahoma's 2024 signing class. But first, up front, we got to pay a few bills. This signing day special is presented, folks, by Ugly John's Custom Boats, family owned and operated since 1974, and proudly serving the Midwest with all your boating needs from 6 locations throughout Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas. If you've ever imagined life on a lake or upgrading your boating lifestyle, let Ugly John's help you make your dreams come true. Head to uglyjohns.com, where beautiful people have gone to get ugly for the last 50 years. Now, Ugly John's is our presenting sponsor. Also sponsoring tonight's show is Patriot Auto Group, veteran-owned and operated since 2014, with locations in Bartlesville, Chandler, McAllister, Ardmore, Pryor, and on Memorial Drive in Tulsa, their biggest location. Patriot Auto Group credits their phenomenal growth over the years to customer loyalty and good old-fashioned word of mouth. Their Patriot Pledge sets them apart from all other dealers. New and pre-owned vehicles have a lifetime limited powertrain warranty plus 10 years of roadside assistance, 24/7, 365, and a year of oil changes for free. So give your closest Patriot location a call for all the details or visit gopatriot.com. You ready to talk about Ballsmas, Brandon?
Oh,
it's that time.
It's that time.
Now, Manscaped, folks, Manscaped has become a regular sponsor of all things that we do on digital platforms here at OU Insider. It is your one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, which includes loads of perfect stocking stuffers. What could be better than giving the gift of good hygiene and a few laughs? The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is the centerpiece of the package and the crown jewel of the holidays. dare I say, the best ball trimmer of all time. The electric razor's advanced skin-safe technology is a lifesaver and known for reducing nicks and cuts on your Santa sack. Brandon, what can you say about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra?
You've asked me this every time. I'm telling you, no nicks. It's smooth. And I use it, obviously, usually on the above region. But, it is what it is. It works for all regions, no matter how you want to groom. It works. It's a good utensil nobody likes to not be groomed, I guess, is the best way I could put it. And I'm a fan. I'm also a fan of the beard trimmer 5.0.
Yes, the beard
and
trimmer.
I have made use of that thing a million times. Everybody knows that I like a trimmed up beard, and I'm not like the most annoying thing in the world is stragglers, and that's one thing I don't have to worry about with the beard trimmer 5.0.
Got to tack on the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. That comes in the Performance 5.0 package. In addition, you get the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer. If your nails seen better days, guess what? Manscaped has you covered with their new Shears 3.0 nail grooming kit. And finally, you can take care of the chestnuts with Manscaped's Boxers 2.0, featuring their signature jewel pouch to keep you calm, cool, and collected. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code OUinsider at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code OUinsider. Say ho, ho, ho to a well-groomed mistletoe with Manscaped. We got one more sponsor we got to shout out, and then we got Danny Okoye.
Well, we have a 50 bomb.
We do.
We got a 50 bomb. B, thank you for the Boomer Sooner and the 50 bomb.
Appreciate
Thank you so
B.
much.
Now, we're going to welcome Danny Okoye to the show here shortly, but got to give a shout out as well to HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I love using HelloFresh, especially during football season, because it cuts down on prep time for meals. But guess what? You still get a hearty meal. You still get a nutritious meal. It's all delivered right to you. Recipes, instructions, everything you need to cook a healthy meal at home is right there with HelloFresh. 'Tis the season for giving and gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can also be the season of saving. Actually save money this month with fresh recipes delivered cheaper than takeout. And with pre-portioned ingredients, you'll never waste money on excess food. Make hosting this holiday a joy rather than a hassle with the help of HelloFresh Market. From cloud-pleasing charcuterie boards to photo-worthy desserts, it's easy to add these party pleasers to your weekly order, saving you so much time. So go to HelloFresh.com/OUinsiderFree and use code OUinsiderFree for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/OUinsiderFree with code OUinsiderFree. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Man, what a scene out here at Sooner Daquiri.
Yeah, it is.
It's popping on night one.
It's crazy. There's probably, 30, 40 people already up in here. There will be more. They've got the TVs. They've got the games going. This place is going to be a fun little atmosphere for Sooners fans. Come when the students get back in town before all the basketball games. And it's going to be fun, obviously, before football games on Saturdays when Oklahoma opens up their inaugural season in the SEC. We want to thank Larry McDonald, obviously the father of Sooner signee, 4-star safety, Michael Patterson McDonald, for hosting us out here today. It's a really cool deal. A lot of people talking, a lot of people obviously watching the games and enjoying some, to start, non-alcoholic daiquiris, because they will have their liquor license starting the 1st of January when these students return back from Christmas break.
The daiquiri machines are running, though.
They are running. And
there might not be alcohol in there. There might not be booze involved.
Parker is in heaven.
But the daiquiri machines are rolling.
Daiquiri,
you know I'm going to have a daiquiri at some point.
He likes the
They're
sweetness.
cooking wings back there, too. Man, again, if you're anywhere in the Norman vicinity, Sooner Daquiri is the place to be tonight. It's where we will be for the next 3 hours. And, Brandon, before we welcome Danny Okoye to the show, outside of the obvious, which is you get all 27 guys signed before 11 a.m., what is to like about the day if you're a Sooner fan?
I mean, like just National Signing Day in general?
Well, I guess maybe what is to like about the class? If you could pick one aspect of the class that you don't feel like is getting talked about enough in all of
Not
this, what would that
talked
be?
about enough.
Yeah.
It's the greatest defensive line class in 20 years.
Our guy Blake Mullen at OU Insider dug into the numbers. That is backed up by facts. Ranking-wise, it is the best OU defensive line haul since 2006. A guy named Gerald McCoy was part of that class, Brandon.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Let me break it down. I think the other class that I would sit there and probably say is up there is, I believe, Dusty Dvorak and Tommy Harris were in the same class. Now, obviously, Dusty Dvorak, I believe, was a 3-star during that. I can't remember if that's correct or not. Yes, they were both 2001. So, yeah. Look, that was a great class. There was a lot, I believe, I want to say they had 3 or 4 starters on the defensive line before their tenure was up in that same class. So, it was Jonathan Jackson, I believe, was in that class.
He may have been.
I can't remember all that, but either way, look, this is a fantastic defensive line class. It is 100% the best defensive line class, at least in 15, 20 years, 17 years, 18 years. I mean, that's how you go into the SEC. You build the trenches. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where it's going to be different than the Big 12. Everybody's warned us of that as far as like the media people talking to us of what the difference is between Big 12 and SEC. And Oklahoma has been preparing themselves. Now we'll see just how ready they are next year.
Now we are in the process of getting our first guest of the evening to join the show. Danny Okoye will join us here shortly. And that's a good place to start when you're talking about this defensive line haul for Oklahoma. Obviously, David Stone is the headliner, the 5-star from Del City. But when you think about dudes that realistically should not have ended up in Oklahoma's class, who would have imagined 9 months ago that Danny Okoye would be an Oklahoma Sooner? And yet here we are. It's a fantastic, I mean, the capstone of really all the individual recruitments that Oklahoma and this staff have handled over the last 3 years. I don't know that there is one more impressive than Miguel Chavis's pursuit of Danny Okoye, because OU had zero chance. Zero chance.
Yeah.
He did not want anything to do with Oklahoma.
He essentially, from my understanding, his mom kind of stepped back out of that equation. And he says that over and over and over. So I once that happened and he took a visit to Oklahoma, I believe it was
in April.
Or
it might have been May. You might be right.
It was in May. It was spring ball.
Mid-spring.
So it was in May. And at that point in time, he came back and said, look, Oklahoma is obviously my top 5 now. I really like them. I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to try to circle back again for, I believe, the Champion Barbecue was his next time showing back up to Norman. And after that, it seemed like it was a wrap. He took an official visit. It was Labor Day weekend that he took his official visit to Oklahoma, and he was there with Daniel Akinkumi, and they both committed to OU right there in Brent Venable's house. I believe Okoye was first, Akinkumi followed suit, and everything went kind of a buzz after that. And he stayed true to his word.
Yeah, Danny Okoye is the number 1 player in the state of Oklahoma per our rivals' rankings. Zadavian Sims, the Oregon commit, number 2, and another OU commit, number 3, in Devon Jordan, the outstanding 4-star cornerback up at Tulsa Union High. Now, as far as the rankings are concerned, it varies a little bit site to site as to which players get the nod over others. But there's no doubt, if you've watched Danny Okoye's film, if you've tracked his performances at showcases such as the U.S. Army Bowl this past week, then you know Danny Okoye is not just dominant at the high school level because he plays at a low classification in the state of Oklahoma. He's dominant because he's a ridiculous physical specimen, Brandon, and that has been borne out by his camp performances pretty much anywhere he's gone.
Yeah, no, this whole, or we're talking about Stone right now. I'm trying to like figure out everything that's going on here with the entrance on the room, but Stone is, you said Stone, right? Correct?
No, I was talking about Okoye.
Okoye, excuse me. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm totally trying to work with texting with Okoye right now. But yeah, Okoye has done a fantastic job just as far as his development. He works with Chief, obviously the same person David Stone works with, the same person that Chris McClellan works with. They all kind of work together with the same defensive line coach, and he's been a very, very much improved player, and I think it's more fundamentally, it's more technique than anything else. And you saw that in the U.S. Army Bowl on Monday night. It was, his performance was special. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the Under Armour game, it wasn't the All-American game in San Antonio, but it doesn't matter. There were still 4 stars on the field. There were still 3 stars on the field, and all he did was dominate.
Now, we're going to work to get Danny Okoye on the show. We've got some technical difficulties on his end, but we do have another guest ready to roll, and so we're going to welcome him to the show now. That would be 4-star defensive back Reggie Powers out of Centerville, Ohio. One of the later commits in the class for Oklahoma, a guy that was committed to Michigan State for quite a while. Oklahoma launched a late pursuit. He ended up visiting in late October and committing. Reggie, welcome to the show, man. Great to have the opportunity to sit down with you. And you're an Oklahoma Sooner today. How does that feel?
It feels great, putting the pen to paper and, finally signing. It feels good. It's a great feeling. So I'm excited to be a part of the family and can't wait to get started.
So, obviously, you were committed to Michigan State at one point, and you're from the North. I asked, obviously, Zerbrug yesterday about this exact same question. I asked White Gilmore the same thing. Big Ten country. You're coming to play in the SEC now. You guys are going to be a little bit different. Everybody loves the Big Ten up in your region. How has that been for you as far as – wow, we just had Nigel Smith walk in here.
I did not realize Nigel Smith was going to actually be here. Okay,
so, all right,
there we go.
Anyways, so how is that for you? I mean, is it really different? And just kind of, are you going to be waving that flag, the SEC flag, pretty proudly now that you're committed to a school or signed now with the school that is headed to the SEC?
Yeah, I think obviously growing up where I'm from, like Big Ten was like big, like a lot of people were fans of the Big Ten teams. But I think with Oklahoma, I think it's a very special place, and especially going to the SEC, very competitive. So I'm ready to take up for that challenge. Always wanted to compete with the best of the best. So I think I'll really attack this and take an opportunity of it.
Now, Reggie, describe to us, if you will, your recruitment process, because it was somewhat accelerated, right? Oklahoma didn't offer you until September. You ended up committing in October. In the grand scheme of things, that is a pretty rapid courtship. So what, as far as the relationship with Brandon Hall, how quickly did that click? And when you got the opportunity to visit, what was it that really sold you on Oklahoma as somewhere you could see yourself playing college ball?
Yeah, well, obviously with the whole Michigan State thing going on, I think they kind of reached out to me around that same timing, right before it happened. And I think they were already talking to me a lot on a rapid pace. I was learning, scheduling a visit and things like that. So I think when the Michigan State thing happened, it was obviously best for me to reopen my recruitment. And I think the first school that stood out right away was Oklahoma when I was planning a visit to go there. Then after my first visit, it felt really good. It felt like home, really, the first time I went there, with actually meeting everyone in person, hanging out with the guys, seeing them, and seeing my fit really in the defense. I think it was just kind of, at first sight, I kind of knew that might have been the spot for me, even though I was talking to other schools too. It was just a different feeling when I got there, really.
Coach Hall is the safeties coach for you guys. It seemed like when the Michigan State stuff went down, he instantly started to kind of pinpoint you and recruit you at another level than I guess he was previously. Was there contact prior to all that? And were you guys talking, or was it, okay, you opened your recruitment back up, they evaluated you, and they came in really hard late? Or was it just kind of a prolonged thing where they just started pushing late on you guys, on you?
Yeah, I think I had went on my official already to Michigan State, and they kind of reaching out to me. They like start reaching out. They didn't officially offer me yet, but they reaching out before everything happened, maybe 2 weeks before. And then they were kind of thinking that I was like really squared on Michigan State, so they would reach out to me, but like they don't just throw offers to throw offers. Like if they offer you, they like really see that if you can be a player here and stuff like that. So as soon as that happened, they like asked me, "Are you reopening your recruitment?" And then the moment I said like yes, like that's the day like they offered me. So I think just seeing that and then just showing like how real they are about their thing, it was big for me, and just seeing that in person was also great.
Now, Reggie, as you kind of reflect on your recruitment up to the point where Oklahoma offered, you got the chance to see some different schools. Obviously, you're an Ohio kid. You had the Ohio State offer. I guess when you took the trip to Oklahoma and you got the chance to experience a game day, well, did you see a game day? I forget. Did you get there for the game, or were you there after the game?
I saw both. I went twice, and they were both game days. One was
That's
during
right.
the day.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So having some backdrop and some context for what a game day looks like on a Big Ten campus, because you visited several of them, how does the game day environment at a place like Oklahoma compare?
Really, I think specifically, like Oklahoma is a very special place because one fact I learned was since 1999, every game's been sold out. So I think it's really a different type of energy. Like both teams are like at the top, but like I think Oklahoma really takes it to another level because all Big Ten teams don't have sold out crowds every week, and that's something Oklahoma has. So I think really the conference didn't matter in that case. They just have a really loyal fan base and things like that. So I think that was big seeing it. I saw a night game and a daytime game, so seeing that both really fired me up, and it was a great time.
Okay, so you said there were other schools that were pushing you once you opened things back up. Can you kind of, I guess, expound on that and who those schools were, and how quickly did you know that Oklahoma was a spot?
I think the two teams that were really pursuing me were UCLA and Pitt. I was supposed to go to UCLA later in that month, but after I committed to Oklahoma, I think I just wanted to shut recruitment down. But I think after my first visit, that's when I really knew like this is the place I want to be. Like I thought everything was right with it, the people, my fit in the defense, stuff like that. So I think just seeing that in person for the first time, really, and just seeing the coaches and bonding with them, that was just a done deal for me.
One of the things that, so many people who cover football for a living and have to be responsible for recruiting rankings, that type of stuff. One of the things that so many folks that have input on the rankings have been impressed with regarding your game is the fact that you're such a remarkable box defender, a guy that can come down and help and run support a lot more naturally than your typical high school safety. How much pride do you take in that? What kind of mentality does that require to be a guy who, despite playing defensive back, has the tenacity to come downhill and be an extra box dude to help clog those run lanes?
Yeah, I think that is big for me. One thing I take big in my game is my versatility and being able to do multiple things. I feel like I can always play in the box, blitz, and do things like that. So I take pride with it because everyone can't do what I do. So I really just use my strengths to really to my ability, and just try and change the game in whatever way I can.
Everybody talks about what a steal you were for Oklahoma, just to be able to come in late and grab you. I guess late in the process, particularly how recruiting goes nowadays. But that cheetah position, you keep talking about being in the box, being in that kind of hybrid position. How much did the way Coach V calls the defense, the way that position is laid out for you, how much did that play in your decision?
Yeah, I think one big thing in my decision was being able to like showcase my talent and not be limited to one spot. So I think with the defense, I learned a lot about the defense, how they usually play with 3 to 4 safeties. I can play 2 of those positions at least, maybe even 3. Obviously, I'll start learning one, but I think my versatility in being able to play different positions in the defense and not just one can really help me maybe get on the field early and do whatever is needed to do possible to help the team.
Now, we were talking to Michael Boganowski last night, and he mentioned, first off, that you guys are rooming together, but also kind of the bond that you had formed when you overlapped on the visit. And uh, obviously, you haven't gotten the chance to interact with these guys a ton yet, but mindful of the secondary class you guys have accumulated, 7 defensive back commits between corners and safeties, all of them 4 stars or higher. How much do you think you guys as a group have the opportunity to come in and, whether it is short-term or long-term, help solidify the defensive backfield for Oklahoma and change the narrative in Norman on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I think big thing is like we all have the same goal. Like we all want to make the team better and compete and whatever it takes. We're in for the long run. We don't just want to play early or whatever like that. We're here to trust the process and we just want to make the team better. So I think we're all going to compete every day to help the team. And I think we have a very good chance of being special. So I know we'll work hard every day to get there.
You've seen the schedule that Oklahoma's going to play next year, and it's essentially of who's who of college football. What is your overall thoughts, and what is your overall what place do you want to play the most? Like when you look at the away games.
I think I saw like Ole Miss on there in Auburn. I think like seeing those places, like over time, I'm a big college football fan growing up. So I think like seeing those Auburn games versus Alabama, how they were so like tense and a lot of people there. I think that's the spot I would like to play and stuff like that. But really, every game we play away is going to be a good game because of who we are. So we know every game we're going to get the team's best game too because of how respected team we are and how we're gonna do good. So I think I'm just looking forward to playing everybody.
Now, Reggie, we got one more question for you, and then we'll let you go. It comes from a viewer on YouTube. And by the way, if you want to ask questions to the guys throughout the show, you can submit them via Super Chat. But what was the question from Mongo there? He had something for Reggie.
Mongo asked, he said, Reggie, what's the biggest thing you look forward to as a college student?
I think being able to be successful on and off the field, learning more about that and like going into more as a man. I know like the program, that was a big thing for me, is like off the field things like they're going to make sure we're good off the field too, not just on the field. So I think at Oklahoma, I can learn a lot of things on and off the field and be successful when football ends, because I know it will one day. So I think learning that and being able to like make my own money, not with just football, would be a good thing to learn.
Reggie Powers, 4-star defensive back, one of 7 blue chippers in the secondary for Oklahoma here in this 2024 class, and one of 2 natives of the Buckeye State for Oklahoma amongst this group, alongside, of course, 3-star quarterback Brendan Zurbrugg. Reggie, man, we very much appreciate your time. Thanks so much, and congrats. You're now officially an Oklahoma Sooner.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, that is Reggie Powers, our first guest of the evening on the OU Insider Signing Day Special, presented by Ugly John's Custom Boats. And with that, we can pretty much roll straight into it.
Yeah.
We have guest number 2 lined up. He was supposed to be guest number 1, had a couple technical difficulties. We were able to get things straightened out. Danny Okoye, the 4-star edge rusher from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the Northeast Oklahoma Association of Homeschools, joins the show. Danny, man, how we doing?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Look, let me make a Christmas tree.
So,
can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you.
We got you, man.
Good.
So, obviously, you've had a pretty big week. You went and played in the U.S. Army Bowl on Monday. You had 3 sacks? You forced an interception. You had multiple QB hurries. What was that
Mhm.
like, and how motivated were you leading up to that to kind of prove to everybody that just because you played for a homeschool team, you can also play with the best in the nation as well?
I mean, a lot. I kind of had more to prove than all the other guys that were there. Especially with the background that I have. But it definitely kind of put a little chip on my shoulder. I even decided that the same day I was there, I decided I was going to play on kickoff, and I haven't done that since freshman year. And I went out and I made like what 4 tackles on kickoff and
Yeah.
special teams. So it was just a way to try and prove to other people that, well, prove to myself and to other people that I can play real college ball and I can ball with the best of them. So yeah, I think I got my point across.
Now, Danny, I would love it if you could give us a little bit of insight into your training and your workout regimen, because obviously it's not often that a guy comes from one of the smaller classifications in Oklahoma and becomes a nationally regarded recruit. That's impressive enough. But I think what so many people are enamored with when they see you posted on social media, when they take a look at your recruiting profile on various sites, it's some of the things that you're able to do physically are just flat out remarkable. Deadlifting 700 plus pounds or whatever it was, man. So like, what have you had to do physically? What have you had to put yourself through in terms of a regimen to get to the point of being one of the most impressive athletic specimens in the entire 2024 class?
I mean, a lot of it is just discipline. It's really the gist of it. Being able to tell yourself to get up and do something you don't want to do, just because the the end result is going to be a lot more worthwhile than temporary pain. So working out for 2.5 hours on a daily basis can get a little tiring, but when, like you said, you're at the end of it, you're able to deadlift 750 pounds. You look at it and you're like, huh, I guess maybe it wasn't so bad after all. So like I said, just training different people, gleaning information for a bunch of different sources, and utilizing it in my life and in my body and in my work regimens. It has a really big impact on how I play the game.
You, David Stone, Chris McClellan, all you guys essentially have the same defensive line trainer and Chief Littlehead. Um, can you talk about him and what he's meant to your growth, technique-wise, fundamentals, just everything that your game encompasses as a pass rusher due to his tutelage?
I mean, Chris Littlehead was definitely one of the most influential people in how I play the game. When I first started getting offers and working with him, he was really big on I mean, yeah, you got offers, but you don't even do this right. And you don't do this right. And you don't do that right. And it kind of made me it kind of brought me down to earth and humbled me, I guess, and helped me realize that there's a lot of different things that need to be focused on, not just how athletic you are, but making sure you do the small things right. And I'm sure David Stone and all the rest will say the same thing, that he knows exactly what he's talking about. And he's probably one of the most wise defensive line trainers that I've ever come in contact with in terms of why things work. And he's very good at explaining things. He explains the game in a way that anyone can understand. And it's definitely been a blessing to have him as one of my trainers.
If you have questions for four-star Oklahoma Edge signee Danny Okoye, you can drop them via the Super Chat. Now, Danny, obviously, I know what the noise is surrounding your play. It's always, he's that much bigger than everybody else. Of course, he dominates. What's going to happen when he goes up against athletes his own size? And you went a long way towards disproving that narrative at the U.S. Army Bowl. But I'm curious, how much do you feel that noise also constituting the narrative that, okay, he's just bigger than everybody else, he's not technically sound, and that's what's going to get exposed? That kind of goes back to your work with Chris Littlehead. How much do you find yourself having to fight against the notion that you're not as technically savvy as your peers just because you can overpower everybody?
I mean, in a certain aspect, they're not wrong. I do have a lot of things that I need to work on in the technicality department. You know, my hands aren't the best in the nation. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the best at, you know, a ghost rush or a spin move, because there's a lot of guys out there who are better at those things than me. But the fact that I have the athleticism to get better, and I can start at a higher level than a lot of other people can, it definitely plays a role in how I'm able to, you know, play the way I play. At the Army Bowl, there were a lot of guys out there who were a lot bigger than me. The Armstrong twins from Ohio State, as an example, um, they're really big kids and really strong too. But you know, I still did my thing. You know, I'm faster, and I'd like to think stronger than a lot of people who are talking the talk but not really able to walk the walk. So, yeah, my actions speak louder than my words ever.
So, Danny, we obviously have some fans out there. This is on the YouTube Live, and so there's close to 600 people on with us right now, plus about 100 people right here in the Sooner Daquiri here on 305 East Main here in Norman. But we have a super chat, so people will get on there and they ask questions, and we're going to repeat them to you. We do have one from a Sooners fan. Obviously, you grew up an Oklahoma State guy, right? So you may not have a particular all-time favorite Sooners player, but Tiz did ask, who is your all-time favorite Oklahoma Sooner football player?
Are we talking like favorite person to watch, or like
Anything,
just
anything,
person?
favorite. Yep.
All right, then I'm gonna say Caleb Kelly.
Caleb
Just
Kelly.
because
Kelly, there you
he
go.
was really the one who inspired. Like, he took time to explain to me why OU was so important and so different. And I still am in contact with him today. Um, but he definitely helped me understand the importance of the principles that OU holds dear. Because I used to just see them as another football program, and now I see them as a family. And I can grant that to him. So I guess Caleb Kelly. I'll have to answer that.
The legend grows
But
for Caleb Kelly.
I love it.
Big number 6, the QB. You know, I can't throw too much shade at
Baker.
him either.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what's up.
that's
Now,
another one.
yeah. Now, man, okay, so you brought up Caleb Kelly, and obviously he does a lot of very influential work behind the scenes for the Oklahoma football program. And I'm not going to try to get you to beat a dead horse here, because you've told the story of how you came to fall in love with Oklahoma 1,000 times over at this point. I think people understand there was a time you weren't interested at all in Oklahoma. They know about the research you did. They know about your relationship with Coach Chavis and how tight that became. But now that you brought up Caleb Kelly, is there anything else about your recruitment process, the pursuit from Oklahoma and your eventual commitment, the 4 months in between May when you came back around to Oklahoma and September when you committed, is there anything else about the process that constituted those 4 months that people aren't super aware of, that hasn't been a well-told aspect of the story?
Well, another big factor had to do with Soul Mission and all the work that they do in that department with other countries in need and people who need help. That's a big passion for me. Not all schools do that, and being able to see such a good program so close to home and how much they offer, not just to the athletes but to people all over the world. It spoke really loud to me, and it was very influential in my recruitment and how passionate Coach Chave and Coach Venables were about Soul Mission, not just about getting the guy who runs a 4.3 or the guy who can bench 500 pounds. They care about the orphan in Peru who is sleeping on the ground, and being able to see that side of them and see the heart for people and not just for athletics. It was a big thing for me, and that was another big factor in why I chose Oklahoma.
All right, so we have another fan question for you. It's from Mongo. He said, Danny, if a
Mongo.
train leaves Kansas City for Dallas going 100 miles an hour. How bad are you beating Texas next season?
You know, we're going to have to see about that one. You know, that Texas game is going to be a fun one for sure. But, you know, you're just going to have to wait and see what I do to them boys. But tell Quinn to watch out, most definitely. Most definitely.
Gosh, put that on a graphic. Tell Quinn to watch out, most definitely. Danny Okoye, folks. Okay, here's another listener question for you. This comes from Jacob via the Super Chat. If you can be remembered for one thing during your time at OU, what would it be?
I want to be the best defensive end that ever touched the field at OU. That's what I want to be remembered as. I don't want to just be another great player. I'm looking to turn myself into a legend, and a man of history, I guess. But yeah, I just want to leave my mark. I don't really want to be remembered for any one thing. I want to be remembered for as many things as possible.
All right. So you want to be the greatest of all time. That is
Lofty goal.
Yeah, lofty goal. I respect on that. So you discussed your recruitment. We haven't asked you about Coach Chavis, the guy that's going to try to help you be the greatest Sooner of all time. Between him, Coach Bates, Coach Venables, just talk about your relationship there and what that meant for you with Coach Chavis, Coach Bates, in the sudden change of heart towards Oklahoma.
I mean, I really see them as mentors now. They used to just be recruiters and coaches. You know, I had a whole lot of those. But once I committed and I kind of got to silence out the noise from all the other schools and all the other people, and I got to really just hear what they had to say and then pick up whatever they were putting down. It really began to like feed me. And, you know, they're not just giving me advice on football. They're giving me relationship advice, life advice, financial advice, all these different things. And, you know, they're really influential people, not just in on the athletic side of my life, but on every other aspect of my life too. And I definitely see that relationship getting a lot stronger as I get on campus and begin to be in contact with them more on a day-to-day basis. And I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, they're my family now.
All right. We got one more question for you, Danny, and then we'll let you go. It comes from Solo via the Super Chat. And you mentioned
What's up, Solo?
Quinn Ewers better watch out. Maybe the answer is Quinn Ewers. I don't know. But the question is there a player on another team that you're willing to name that you just can't wait to hit on the field?
This is where we probably should filter the fans a little bit.
Y'all gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna leave that question. No, screw it. I'm gonna hit Q and Ewers in his head. I don't really care. I'm gonna dump him. I don't care because he be acting like he's all that, but nah, he gonna find out for sure.
All right.
That's just happened, baby. That's the OU Insider Signing Day special.
There we go.
4-star edge rusher, Danny Okoye.
Hey, let me just say this as a final note: the horns will be down when Quinn Ewers is upside down, for sure.
He's off the chain, baby.
Yeah,
he is off the chain. Danny, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks so much for jumping on with us.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, ever quotable. That is Danny Okoye. We're going to welcome our first in-person guest to the OU Insider Signing Day special here in just a minute. Where's Nigel? Somebody want to grab Nigel Smith? I don't know where he got to. We were not planning on having him in venue this evening. There he is. He's right there.
He's watching it. So
yeah, okay.
Here,
come on, hop in. Grab this microphone. We'll get you turned up.
Yep.
Here is Nigel Smith, folks, our very first in-person guest of the OU Insider Signing Day special. First off, you're in Norman. I had no idea you were going to be in Norman today.
Yeah. I mean, we came down for the bowl game, had a lot of different testing we had to do today, and got a lot of fun gear and stuff. So, I mean, it wasn't really anything that players are supposed to be down for. Just an early freshman.
So you're going to be participating in the bowl practices then?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so it's you, it's Michael Hawkins, it's Xavier Robinson, Eli Bowen. Is there anybody else?
Well,
Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy.
Stone was supposed to, but since he's playing in two bowls, he's playing Polynesian.
All American. Yeah, you can't do any of that.
They wouldn't let him do it. But he wanted to. We talked about that before we came on air. Is there anybody else?
Dude, I'll say Jaden Jackson already.
Oh, Jaden Jackson as well.
Jackson.
Okay. And
Okay,
Vaughn Mitchell. I think he is too.
Wow, that's quite the list, man.
Wow,
that is quite the list.
What a list. So, okay, first off, I'm going to do, hey, B, thank you so much. You couldn't think of a question, but here's 10 bones. Thank you.
You're the man.
So, Nigel, were you watching earlier? When you watching?
Yeah. I was out there. I was outside.
So you saw Okoye.
Yeah.
And what he said about. Were you shocked, or is that typical Danny Okoye style?
Yeah, that's typical Danny. I mean, that's how I expect him to answer everything. So, confident guy, and I know he could definitely back up his talk. So he's gonna go work hard and do what he does.
Now, we talked about the rankings earlier, and what the rankings suggest is that this defensive line class for Oklahoma is the best in almost 2 decades, since a guy named Gerald McCoy signed with Oklahoma back in the class of 2006. So there's the potential that the Sooners could flip Dominic McKinley down the road. But for the moment, it's you, it's Danny, it's Stone, it's Jaden Jackson, it's Wyatt Gilmore. Man, what are your thoughts on that overall group, just as far as what you guys can bring to the table and the overall camaraderie between you all?
You know, it might not just be Dominic McKinley. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, hello.
We might have a couple flips, maybe one big one that I'm really looking forward to. But that'll be for that next signing day that's coming. So it's not for sure. It's just something in the works. But just this class already, it's tremendous. I mean, this is a monumental class just for OU, and kind of leading this class D-line wise for every position. We have one of the greatest position groups coming in, and I think we've done a really good job just recruiting and building a relationship with each other. Like, not everybody's committed at the same time, and before everybody even committed, we had a group chat already just with D-line players, and not everybody ended up going to OU like Joseph and going to Georgia, but I think we've done a great job building a relationship already.
So we got a super chat here from Mongo. He said, Nigel, what makes a good leader in your opinion, and how do you work for people to see you as a leader in the future?
For myself, what makes a good leader, in my opinion, it's somebody that is obviously he has to be able to speak out and against not only the right and lead his team, but the way I do it is I'm not going to sit there and just yell at people when they're doing wrong. I'm kind of more of a pull them to the side type of deal, depending on what it is. But it's just somebody that's comfortable in uncomfortable situations, that's able to speak up when they know is wrong and leads by example as well. I mean, you can't be a leader that's not doing what he's supposed to do, leading. And I feel like that's one thing I'll bring to the team is being able to be a leader. I've learned many lessons just throughout high school, becoming more of a vocal leader that I wasn't a huge vocal leader coming in freshman, sophomore year. But I think that me coming in, got to obviously establish myself, build my name. But I'm definitely going to become one of the main leaders of the team after a while.
Okay, Nigel, you've signed We Can Be Candid now. I want to know because, shoot, I remember doing a radio hit with you after the spring game, your sophomore year of high school, April of 2022. And I think you had visited Oklahoma for the first time, not much before that. You've been down a couple times that spring, and then obviously in the year and a half since, you've been to Norman umpteen times. Was there ever a point where it wasn't Oklahoma for you?
Yeah. There really was a point where it wasn't Oklahoma. I want to say Ohio State to start, even after me had coming down to OU a couple times. to start Ohio State was a huge lead. I loved it down there. The people, Coach LJ was just, I mean, that guy's a legend. But I'm gonna throw out when Penn State jumped in. It really, really was close from me going to Penn State instead of OU. Like that top two, Penn State I was that close to committing to Penn State, and just that relationship I had with Coach Franklin and all those guys down there, the recruits, everybody. It wasn't as close to me deciding OU as everyone thought.
Yeah. Well, when I came to see you, the few times I came to see you, we talked about Penn State, your family up in that region. Is that why you had such love for the Nittany Lions? Is because of just growing up around family that lived in that region and just the fandom that they had for that program?
I don't want to say it's because I have family up in that region, because honestly, if it were to be family, the score I like would more be Rutgers, because my Uncle Chris lives not even 30 minutes away from Rutgers campus.
New York City?
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Penn State, it was kind of just a shocker just on my end. I never thought I would take them as serious as I did, but that first visit I took just caught me so off guard with everything they showed me, all the love that I had got shown to me and my family, how they do things up there, the family atmosphere, the Christian atmosphere. It really just caught me so off guard, and I was so wowed by that visit, and know that they're a great school and develop players that I had to consider them highly.
Yeah.
Now, for you, and I know you and I have talked about this, I'm not sure whether it has been something that's on the record that people know of, but so many folks have wondered, okay, he's 6'5", 260, 265. Like, is he a defensive end or is he a defensive tackle when he gets to Oklahoma? What is it that the Oklahoma staff has pitched you on in terms of your fit in the defense?
Yeah, I don't know why so many people have wondered if I was going to play defensive tackle. I mean, I'm 256 right now, so it's like I'm obviously going to gain weight, but I'm chilling at 256, just waiting and for the measurements
How
I
tall
take
are
today. 6'5". So chilling at 256, obviously going to gain weight, but not one school has recruited me to play defensive tackle. Every school, A&M's recruited me to play strong side end. Penn State's recruited me to play defensive end. OU recruited me to play defensive end. I'm going to be playing for Coach Chavis. A lot of people look at it just because of the fact that the defense my school switched to, which isn't my personal favorite type of defense, just because we're two-gapping.
Yeah.
But that's the reason they probably think I'm playing D-tackle, because we're two-gapping. I step out down to a 3, but I'm also stepping out to a 5 a lot. So I'm a very athletic guy.
Yeah.
I'm very versatile, and the way they've shown it, I'm going to play a lot like how Rondell Bothroyd played in this defense. That's kind of how I'm going to fit in, is how Rondell fit in, and play that defensive end, be able to bump down to a 3 and pass rush, be able to bump out to a 5 and pass rush. I'll just play that defensive end role.
So I was going to ask you, so I talked to a few people in Norman about you, obviously, and they said some of the same things you just said about bumping down to a 3, a 5, all that type of stuff. Do you enjoy the versatility part of your game? Do you prefer the edge more than anything else, obviously, but how comfortable are you playing a 3?
That's one thing I really do enjoy about my game is the versatility aspect. I definitely enjoy playing a 5. I'm not sitting here. I definitely can play a 9. I've played a 9. It just depends on what we're playing. If we're in a first, second down, I'm playing outside the tight end. Easily doable. If I'm pass rushing, I can rush from a 9. But I'm comfortable anywhere, and that's what I really feel. If we're throwing a backer off the edge, somebody that's faster than me, I'm comfortable knowing where I stand and how good I am compared to other people. I'm not as fast as a guy outside linebacker that's going to run a 4.4, 4.3 right now. I'm not as fast as him.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable being able to go in and to a 3 tech and be more agile, faster, quicker than the guard that I'm going to pass rush against. And first, second, third down, play that 5. And depending on what package we're in, either pass rush from a 5, third and fourth, or go and bump inside.
I do have a question. Did Jaden Jack is he arrived yet? Jaden Jackson in town?
He's actually my roommate from my hotel room.
Okay, so he's here already?
Yes, sir.
Need to get his butt up here, so we'll interview him too.
Okay, so here's something I want to share. I may have shared this before. I don't think I have, but I might have. This is my favorite interaction I ever had with this dude while I was covering his recruitments. It's October of 2022. Oklahoma has just gotten throttled by Texas, 49-0 in the Cotton Bowl. Third straight loss. Sooners are sitting in 3-3. It looks like the ship is listing in Norman, America. And I went down to one of his games. Can't remember who they were playing. Might have been Horn that night. I can't recall exactly who. But I asked you after the game, Nigel, I was like, hey, look, these 3 losses, they've been ugly. Like, no way to sugarcoat it. They've been ugly. Does it affect your perception at Oklahoma or of Oklahoma at all? And looked me straight in the eye and said, not at all. Not even a little bit. Why was that? And having seen Oklahoma win 10 games now in 2023, is that kind of the fulfillment of what you imagined was possible under this coaching staff?
You know, I didn't even need to imagine what was possible, just in the fact that I saw everything coming. Coach Venables and Chavis and Bates, they had preached to me their plan, and I had faith in it all from the jump. Unless you're put in a very, very good position, no coach is going to come in and be that good with the players. No coach is going to come into OU in the position that Venables came in and win 10 games in the season. They had 2 defensive tackles over 300. Not even. I think they had 1 or 2 defensive tackles over 300 pounds. Can't hold up and being a big-time college football team. After that OU game, Dylan didn't play. They had so many players transfer out, things like that you actually have to take into account. A lot of starters transferred out. They didn't really have time to get any guys that they really, really wanted. So I had faith from the jump, and it definitely did feel good not having to hear a whole bunch of people run their mouths and things like that this year, and knowing that my plan and for OU and what I had saw coming definitely came true.
You said that nobody could be put in Brent Venables' position and win 9-10 games, and yet how shocked were you that they were 6-7, but 5 of their losses were 1-score games, and
3 points, yep.
4
with 3
the
points.
3 points in the last minute, last second field goals, ending overtime field goals.
Exactly.
How shocked were you that they got that close to literally being 11-2 with all that was held up against them in year 1 with that staff?
I wasn't shocked at all. A lot of people that just were talking all of that were looking at the record only. They didn't see, and that was one of my biggest talking points, was the fact that we lost 4 games by 3 points, 1 game by a touchdown, and our last game by 3 points to FSU, a huge, big-time team that last year and this year. So our problem, like Venables would say, was finishing. We had all right players, and he coached them with how he could, but finishing the game was very, very tough with the guys we had. We had no depth, and so having no depth, you struggle to finish games and be able to drive through those hardships.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to coordinate our next guest right now.
Yeah. So for you made the decision. You committed to Oklahoma. You put your recruiting hat on. Name a player that you felt like maybe Oklahoma didn't get, but maybe they got close to that you were trying to recruit.
Obviously, Dominic McKinley, which is still possible. Really all I know is from my position class, and it's not fully started yet, but just want to throw out there Dalen Evans, He's definitely a guy that's a great defensive lineman that's just starting up recruitment, and maybe someday he ends up a Sooner in that new sign-a day next year. But it's kind of only my defensive line class that I know of. So those two guys would be the two that I want.
Now, Nigel, do we have any more listener questions for him? Do we miss any?
I have not seen that.
Okay, sweet. So we're good on the super chat. Nigel, we'll let you leave on this question. What has you most excited about the future at Oklahoma and how you fit into it?
What has me most excited is the fact that Coach Venables has been there and done that with how many national championships he's played in and won as well, how many number one defenses he's had. So I'm excited what the future holds, and the fact that I really believe that we'll be playing for a national championship within the next 3 to 4 years.
All right. 4-star defensive end, Nigel Smith, folks. Melissa, Texas. By the way, amazing new stadium down there.
Yep.
Amazing new stadium. It's a shame you only got to play in it for 1 year, but got to spend your senior year in, a $35 million football facility. Oh, if you like Texas high school football, you live down in the Lone Star State, go see a game at Melissa sometime. Bucket list material.
Yes, sir.
Man, great to have you on. Always appreciate the conversation.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
That was Nigel Smith, man. Look, I thought some of the interesting things he said to us was some of the leadership stuff. Like you instantly can tell that he's going to be a guy that comes into Norman.
We can slide back over.
Yeah, we can slide over. I was enjoying sitting close to you. He's instantly going to be a guy that comes into Norman.
Keep going.
And
there we go.
Essentially, I can see him taking over a leadership role maybe year in the late year one, maybe year two part, because he just has the mannerisms. He's always had that from the jump, even as a junior in high school. You kind of can see the future of what he was going to be on and off the field, and he's somebody that it seems like everybody gravitates towards Nigel.
Yeah. All right, now our next guest on the OU Insider Sign Day special was supposed to be 4-star wide receiver signee Ivan Carrion. He is finishing some work up for his high school graduation right now. He had to bail on us last minute. It is no problem, though, because we are now joined by 4-star tight end commit. Well, signee. I got to get used to saying signee. 4-star tight end signee, Devon Mitchell in the house. Vaughn, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, are you in Norman right now?
Nah, not right now. I head up tomorrow.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, Nigel mentioned that you were going to – yeah, no, we got you. Nigel mentioned that you were going to be one of the guys that gets here early, and they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was happening. But, dude, you're signed. Yeah. You're an Oklahoma Sooner. You and Mike both. Obviously, your former high school quarterback, Michael Hawkins, signed today with the Sooners as well. Man, throughout this whole process, what, in your own words, kind of led you to Oklahoma? Obviously, the relationship with Mike was big. The relationship with Joe John Finley was big. But what about the Oklahoma experience really captured your heart in the end and made you feel like, okay, I can play my college football here?
Well, honestly, plenty of times that I came up there, I got a chance, to see everything, see the way the offense was running, and Oklahoma got a great atmosphere. But also, I got a great relationship with the coaching staff, So every time I come over there, like me and my family, it shows love every time. So, I'd rather be a part of something like that.
So you started your high school career. You're playing at Allen, Texas. You got offered by Oklahoma. You guys, obviously, Michael Hawkins. You had Zena there. There was DJ Hicks was there. You guys were a really tight-knit group and a super talented team, by the way. When you name those names, that's just insane. But I remember talking to you, I guess it may have been a year and a half ago, and it was right after Oklahoma offered you in the spring. And I said, so who are your top two schools? And you at that point said Texas A&M and Oklahoma, and you thought Oklahoma was up near the top. Real quick, can you kind of talk about what made you gravitate towards Oklahoma so quickly in your recruitment?
Like I said, when like like I said, every time I came up there, I got showed a lot of love, and I love the offense that they were running. I felt like I could fit in that offense. Even when Levy was there, but now that Levy gone, I know that Coach Fanny's still gonna have some stuff cooking up, and Coach Seth Luttrell. So that's really what just got it going. They always stayed in contact with me, build great relationships. So that's really it.
So you brought up Latrell and you brought up Joe John, both former tight end coaches, obviously. When you found out that those two were going to be the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma or co-offensive coordinators, how excited were you? And did you just kind of feel like, okay, they're going to use the tight end a lot now?
Yeah, I was pretty excited, but yeah, like me, I feel like I'm just a different player. Like when it comes to a tight end position, so like I got the ability to do some of the things that not many tight ends can do. So and I feel like that's something that we were lacking at the tight end position at Oklahoma. So now that they got me, they can. I'm gonna let them teach me everything, and hopefully come in and be the best at what I do. So
Now, I remember talking to your dad, Devon, and it was hilarious because he said, well, Vaughn was 200 pounds. Then he went back to Alabama for the summer, and he ate too much, and he came back 240, and he was a tight end instead of a wide receiver. Now, your dad obviously played receiver in the league. You started out as a receiver, make the transition to tight end, and you talked about it, right? You feel like you bring something to the table at the tight end position that Oklahoma doesn't have. But how much do you feel like you can stretch the field from the tight end position, and how much pride do you take in being able to make stuff happen down the field that is uncommon for that position?
honestly, I feel like I don't stretch the field, like however you feel me. Like basically, I'm like a tight end receiver. Like but I can block, I can catch, I can run routes, and like I can just do it all, and and make plays. So that's that's really just how it is.
All right. So we have a super chat. A fan asked a question to you. Devon, In-N-Out or Whataburger? I'm only joking. It's obviously Whataburger. So which SEC team are you most looking forward to playing against next season?
Uh,
First off, is it
honestly,
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
In-N-Out.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The Californians got to him, man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's always been In-N-Out though. I don't mess with Whataburger like that. But honestly, I'm ready to play all the teams. You feel me? But like
Yeah.
I say Bama because like I grew up there and stuff. I grew up there and stuff. So like I really want to see what it's like now. Now that we joined the SEC, so they one of the great teams right now. So
Mm-hmm.
We'll do you a favor. We won't tell Venables that you slandered Whataburger on this show because, as we know, he is a big Whataburger, triple cheeseburger, and onion rings guy.
Yes.
So I am curious, Devon. You've obviously spent the last 11 months out there in Los Alamitos, California, after spending your first 2 years of high school at Allen down in Texas, powerhouse program, one that most folks are familiar with. What I want to emphasize here to everybody that's watching is that this kid is graduating high school in 2.5 years. Highly uncommon, which just shows you how developed he is for his age and also how hardworking this kid is, because getting that far ahead in school while maintaining the elite level of athletic competition that he maintains, it's impressive stuff. So in being out there in Los Alamitos in calendar year 2023, Vaughn, what have you come to appreciate about the experience, and how do you feel like it's helped you grow as a football player?
honestly, when I first moved out here, I didn't know what I was walking into. So but like my team at Los Al, they made me feel welcome and stuff. I was a leader for them. I always held them accountable. They held me accountable for certain things. But yeah, it was a great experience. I got to know a lot of people, meet different athletes, big time guys and stuff like that. So so yeah, you feel me? Like, I've been doing a little recruiting too, trying to get some people to come over on this side.
Oh, you want to drop any names?
I ain't gonna drop no names right now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
All right. So B, one of the fans watching here, asks, given our need at tight end, I guess he's saying given OU's need at tight end, do you feel you can play right away if needed, if against someone seasoned, battle-tested, grown men in the SEC? So I guess he's essentially asking, do you feel like you're ready to play as it sits today in the SEC? Physically, mentally, all of that.
Yeah, most definitely. I got a whole spring to go through. To learn more, get better. So I feel like I got it mentally and physically, but it's still like areas to improve. So yeah, I do feel like I can come in and play right away.
How important do you feel like the tight end is to the Oklahoma offense, especially with Seth Luttrell now taking over as the offensive coordinator? How important and how much do you feel like your role is going to be emphasized in the offense going forward?
Honestly, I feel like it's an important position. I feel like they haven't really had like a tight end that's like that can really like just do it all. Like they haven't had a tight end like that in a while. So I feel like I can come in and make an impact and help our team out as in any way as I can.
Devon, you say that you're versatile and there's not very many tight ends like that out there. But when Oklahoma was recruiting you, did they show a lot of Braden Willis film to you and how they wanted to use you?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Do you feel like your game is a lot like his, or what do you feel is different than his that you can add?
That's different.
Yeah, than Braden Willis's.
I mean, nothing really like like everything that that he does that everything that he did, I can do. But like I feel like I got it like like athletic wise, like I know B Will, he's a great guy. I watch his tape and stuff, but I feel like like when it comes to like the blocking and stuff like that, I can like really just like bounce in there for real. So.
All right, one more question for you, Vaughn, and then we'll let you go. And I'm gonna give you an opportunity to brag on your boy. How special of a player, how special of a quarterback are Oklahoma fans getting in Michael Hawkins?
Man, y'all getting a special guy. I'm not gonna lie. So like throughout my high school career, like I've never like seen a quarterback like him before. Like ever. Like he's different. He can make crazy plays, like tough throws. He can run, like so. I mean, honestly, we really got weapons all over, and including out of him too. So yeah, he's a great guy, great quarterback. He's just different.
That's four-star tight end commit Devon Mitchell from Los Alamitos, California. Vaughn, very much appreciate you joining the show. And we will catch up with you again soon, no doubt about it. Have an awesome time at bull practices.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
There is Devon Mitchell. Now, Jaden Jackson is in the house, the four-star defensive line commit from IMG Academy. We're going to have him on the show at 9 p.m. So, 9 p.m., you can expect to hear from four-star Oklahoma defensive line commit Jaden Jackson. Andy Bass at 9:15, Michael Patterson-McDonald at 9:30, and then, of course, the five-star himself, David Stone, to wrap things up at 9:45. The OU Insider Signing Day special is brought to you by Ugly John's Custom Boats, family owned and operated since 1974, excuse me, and servicing the Midwest at 8 locations in Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. You can go to uglyjohns.com for more information. It's where beautiful folks have gone for the last 50 years to get ugly. So you want to enhance your boating experience? Ugly John's is the place to go. Now, with that, Xavier Robinson, yes, come on
There's
in.
my neighbor.
Slide on over, Brandon.
What's up, neighbor?
Here we go. X Robinson joins the show. The Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma in the year 2022 here. That's your microphone. Rush for what? I'm going to get this number right. 2,594 yards as a junior.
As a junior, that's right.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy numbers. Here, hold that microphone a little bit closer to your face. There you go. Man, I feel like we need to start back at the very beginning in your recruitment process. Your first offer was from Iowa State, excuse me.
Right.
And took an official visit there. And in the end, it was you choosing between OU and Iowa State. Man, go ahead, give us some firsthand context. How tough of a decision was that for you, and what helped you to make it?
I mean, going between those schools, they all had a little similarities. I was comparing and contrasting between both. But, and I got down to, the support system, how could it help me out if, football doesn't work out. So, I mean, those was the last suggestions for me. But, I feel like they was both great programs. And it really just came down to the support system, what I can do after football.
Your versatility, the ability, your size, obviously your strength, your speed, is something that kids your age don't normally have at the running back position.
Right.
What else do you think you bring to the table at Oklahoma that you feel like maybe on and off the field that you think you can take this program or help take this program to the next level?
Yes, sir. Even off the field, when there's no cameras around, I feel like I'm confident to say I got great leadership, motivational skills to come help out the team, and keep the team, motivated.
Now, take us back to your junior year. You're playing ball at Carl Albert. You guys ended up winning a state championship. Talked about the numbers, almost 2,600 yards on the ground for you. You scored 40 touchdowns. As you're in the midst of that season, and week after week, you're putting up those numbers. Is that something that you were fully cognizant of? Like, oh, shoot, my numbers are some of the best in the nation? Like, is that something that you were aware of in the moment, or was it not until after the season where you sat down and really processed?
I really wasn't even aware of none of it until after the season. None of the stats at all, until I started getting all the awards completely all after the season. And I didn't even realize I got these awards. I didn't even know how much these awards really meant to people. And, I mean, just receiving these rewards, it shows a lot, and without me even knowing, what all the practices throughout the season, it shows the hard work I had put in to, to receive these awards and the fine that's behind these awards. So it's a great feeling. It's a great moment. I wasn't even aware of it until after the season.
So you obviously committed during the summer. Since then, the Carl Albert squad has followed suit, if you will. How much did you play into that, trying to push some of your buddies to Oklahoma? And there's one left. There's a straggler left.
Yeah, there's Tristan.
He's just hanging out there. Tristan Haynes. You think Oklahoma can pull that off? And what would they be getting in him? And what are they getting, obviously, in Marcus and Kevin as players, in your opinion?
Tristan Haynes, I feel like he knows where home is, but that's something that's up to him, where he wants to, believe, where he feel like home is. But he talks about OU some days, and we ask him how he feels sometimes, but it's really how he really feels about this whole situation and it's recruiting. Because I want him to enjoy it while he can, because it will fly by, being in this spot. And Marcus and Trinae, I believe, they're great leaders on and off the field. It's not such a boost thing, going out on the media. They're really fun, to be around off the field, having team bonding or any other situations like that. And they're really great players, and I think they can impact the game and the program a lot.
Couple listener questions for you. First one comes from Mongo, who asks, X, what is your favorite New Year's Six bowl? Because you're going to play in it next season.
Dang, I'm not. That's not. I'm not really a really junkie on this stuff, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what my favorite bowl will probably be.
Atlanta, Phoenix, Dallas, Miami. Where you want to go?
Probably Dallas.
Dallas.
I've been down there in Dallas a lot. So, yeah.
Comfortability, right? Comfortability. All right. Another listener, Jacob Matthews, asks, how good is it going to feel running through someone's face wearing that crimson and cream?
Man, I'm gonna be so excited. I know the words. I'm gonna probably be speechless on this, but given the opportunity to go out there and every opportunity I get, I'm gonna go out there and showcase that and show and show that I can do that. And I know it's gonna be a great feeling.
Now, you got a unique skill set, man. Not a whole lot of running backs nationally can carry 230, 235 pounds the way you do and it not affect their mobility in the slightest. And I know so many fans have made the comparison. Oh, he reminds us of Samaje Perine.
Right.
Is there any particular back over the years that you've kind of looked up to, modeled your game after?
After a while, it was later in the season. It was a lot of AD, and the reason I can tell you the reason why I'm so good at running with this much weight, this height, is because it was my when I was in the 8th grade. I was already 6'2". I was probably about like 190, 200. I was up there, but then that's when that COVID hit, and it got me pretty good. So
a lot of peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, but I always practiced and worked on, just being in the gym, practicing and just working on mobility, skill set, footwork, and that was all to it. I believe everybody should listen to their coaches when they say, practice makes perfect. And but everybody's not perfect, but you can get there and set those goals.
The running back room at Oklahoma, they just added obviously a transfer. They got you and Taylor Tatum, and then obviously Andy Bass is more of a versatile guy that's going to play all over the field. What do you think of the class that you guys brought in? Just kind of the versatility with you being more of that power back. You can run through tacklers, and then you've got those change of pace guys that are really fast. Do you feel like you guys strengths kind of accentuate each other?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think the strength and the impact, like I said, on this team, I think it can improve a lot better. Me being a power back and then switching it to Tatum, who's really speed for his size. Very athletic. Also playing in the backfield. You got Zion, the receiver, who's very quick at receiver, and you also got Jaden Harding. You got some great up front linemen, who's there to protect for their backs and their QBs. Eugene and jeez, it's a lot of names. It's a lot of names. That 27 out of 27.
Talk about the O line.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the O line.
You got Akin Kumi. You've got Eddie Pierre Louis. You've got
going back.
Brooks.
Going back looking on their film. I feel like those guys they're really excited for this and ready to bring it. And then you also got the defensive line, who's ready to get stops for the offense. You got David Stone, you got Jaden, you got Reggie, some playmakers that's ready to go make some plays, some stops for the offense.
Now, if we're being completely candid here, you're not a guy that the former head coach at Oklahoma probably would have offered. Under the direction of the new staff, Brent Venables came to your school to offer you personally. Now you're committed to Oklahoma, as well as several other top guys within the state.
Right.
Man, what does it say about the identity here at a place like Oklahoma that this staff has been able to rediscover and reestablish that localized nucleus of Oklahoma kids wearing the crimson cream?
Yeah, and it starts with that. You look at that record from last season, that 6-5 record, and seeing it from this season, and everything changing around, the whole routine's changing around ever since I came to come visit. You can really see that a lot of things have changed.
Hey, let's talk about the change. What changes do you feel like you've seen between the previous staff and Venables? And when you go there and you've been around the players, the coaches, as much as you have, do you see the sense of family, the culture?
Yeah, that's right. And when I talk about the support system, I mean, it's all there. I mean, it's completely all there. The body language is all different. I go out to practices. I love the way they practice. It's something we also got similarity to at Carl Albert's, where we stole from them. So, and it also shows, like us, what we got from them. We got a lot of things from them, going back on that 14-0 record. And, I mean, yeah.
You just feel at home, huh?
Yeah, just feel at home, really. A lot of similarities from high school to college.
People want to know who your roommate's going to be. Do you know yet?
I do not know yet.
Really?
No.
You getting a rando?
I hope not. I hope it's somebody on the team that I already got a connection with. But I've never had a problem building a new relationship with somebody.
Another non-football related question. Right. I asked this to I might have asked this to Wyatt or Michael the other night. Neither of them would give me a definitive answer. Who posts the most memes in the group chat?
I think it's me. Me or Tatum.
Really? Tatum's like that?
Tatum posts memes in the group chat.
How about that?
Tatum posts memes in the group chat.
Okay, so for you, being a guy that obviously you played at Mustang, you played at Carl Albert, you've seen just Oklahoma football across the board in classes.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean for this staff to be so centrally focused on bringing in the top Oklahoma guys? For you as an Oklahoma player, just the fact that they've been completely enamored by making sure the top OK Preps guys stay in state. Is that when you talk to your peers, is that something you guys talk about? It's just how important it is to stay in state.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about this before I even been recruited, how I always wanted to play for, OU, but, going through the recruiting process, I know it was something slow I was on because I got a better understanding of the recruiting. So, and getting your own state, I mean, it's amazing and it's a blessing. And, but, back then, seeing a lot of pass ups on kids who was in Oklahoma get passed up by their own state. I mean, it was a really sort of a missed opportunity, like Josh Jacobs. He was a really great running back. But, seeing a lot of kids get recruited from their whole state, going to go show out for not longer they just a city no more, but the whole state all around. I mean, it's really nice.
Did you think about Seth Luttrell and the future of the Oklahoma offense under his direction? I don't know how many conversations you've had with him or with DeMarco Murray about how the scheme is going to change, any distinctions that will be made between what was considered familiar under Jeff Lebby and what the new vision will be under Luttrell. But in your experience, just being around Luttrell, having interacted with him to whatever degree you have, what can you say about his mind for the game and the way that he conducts his business?
I mean, I think he's a great coach, who's going to adjust his team. Very wonderful. And me, I feel like I got a lot closer with Coach Luttrell than I have before. But whatever he comes in, I love this program. I love this state. Whatever he comes in, I'm looking forward to adapt it. Looking forward to these coaches translate stuff to the athletes, and we just go translate it on the field. So I really think it's a great thing.
I think it's the easiest question in the world. You're being coached by a former offensive MVP in the NFL.
Right.
Your relationship with DeMarco Murray. Can you talk about that and tell
it's real good. I mean, at first I wasn't so sure, but I'm starting to open up jokes, with him, memes with him, all sorts of things. So it's nice, being able to do that with your running back coach.
You said at first you weren't so sure. Why was that?
Coach Murray wasn't know me as much than the other running back coaches and head coaches were, but him stepping up and recruiting me, he started recruiting me a lot more than other coaches have. So. It really showed.
So you've been to practices, I'm sure. You've seen his coaching style.
He ain't no coach that fronts, and I like that. I like that kind of challenge from a coach, who's gonna push me and help me be a better player.
The coaching staff. That's every recruit says that. By the way, about the OU coaches is. I mean, that's how who they are is who they are. Like they're gonna tell. They say I've heard people say that about DeMarco all the time, saying he's very, very upfront with you when he recruits you. He doesn't BS around.
No, he don't.
And
He
then
don't front at
when
all.
he coaches, he's the very same way. He's going to tell you when you suck, you suck. When you're good, you're good. And he's going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes in not a very nice way.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's coaching.
That's part of it, bro. That's just human nature in football. So I don't see a problem with that anyway. And
Do you respect
I've been
that?
coached. I respect that 100%. I've been coached like that ever since I've been growing up. So.
What do you feel like this program can accomplish in the SEC? Obviously, things are going to get tougher, but you got a guy in Brent Venables that's been through the fire, has national championships under his belt. I guess let me ask it this way. Do you anticipate next year that Oklahoma is going to get as rude of an awakening to the SEC as some folks seem to think?
I hate speaking into the future and makes it seem like, but I feel real confident with this program. I feel real confident with this coaching staff. Like I said, who can go translate stuff to the athletes, and we go translate to the field. I feel like the players I'm around really take care of business. They don't joke around. So I feel like going to the SEC, I know it will be a challenge. I never expect less going into the game, but I think we're gonna do pretty good. I'm really confident about this team going next year. So yeah, I think we're gonna do pretty good.
Do you have a
record?
Place? Well, no. I think that's ridiculous for players to predict records. Do you have a place that you are excited to go play at?
I know LSU is at Death Valley at night. So yeah, I know that's a place I feel like that will give me goosebumps. Coming in my freshman year, but yeah, that's the place. I know Bama's at home. I know these top SEC programs. Really excited about that, but I think LSU at Death Valley will be one that.
So I gave X his nickname in my superlatives today. I don't know if you read it.
What, X Factor?
X Factor.
X-Man?
So
X-Man. I get that one too a lot.
X Factor because essentially I could see you being, particularly your first season in Oklahoma, your size, your strength, being that goal line, that short yardage back type guy to come to a change of pace. Sawchuck's not a big guy.
Right.
Franklin's not a big guy. They need somebody like you that can go in there and grind out those 3, 4, 5 yards that are needed and probably maybe tote the rock sometimes. And
we'll worn out that defense in the fourth quarter. So
my deal was you were going to be a fan favorite. We had to name who we thought was going to be a fan favorite in year one, and I said it was you because every time you're going to be in the ball game will be kind of a pivotal time if they do choose to use you in that manner.
Right.
Have they discussed that to you? Like, hey, we need a short yardage guy. We need a goal line guy. Can you come in and be that guy?
Nah, they haven't discussed that with me. But if we ever get to that situation, we talk about that. I'm always be head up, ready. Talk with them about that and let them know I'm ready because I like to go attack it and go get that first down.
Xavier Robinson, folks, 3-star running back commit from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Your 2022 Gatorade Player of the Year.
Are you going back to Mustang?
In the state of Oklahoma.
Okay.
X, man, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate having you on. All right, that's Xavier Robinson. Hey, is Jaden ready to go? Can we get Jaden on?
We did have
jump on.
We did have a
here.
We did have a super chat.
Oh, do we?
Said X, you are such a welcome addition to OU. When you break the huddle, 4th and goal for the win against Bama, what inspires you to deliver the W? I hope my question, James Winter, because that was kind of where I was going at. Is he excited about that and the possibility of being a short yardage back? So I hope that helped, and we do appreciate the super chat. Sorry if I saw it late.
Hey, somebody go get Jaden Hardy a phone charger because he just texted me and said, I can't come on the show. My phone's at 5% and I went out to eat. So somebody get that man a phone charger. Fortunately, that's Jaden Hardy. Fortunately, we have another Jaden joining the show now. The big man from IMG Academy, Jaden Jackson, 4-star defensive tackle and newly minted Oklahoma signee. Jaden, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got almost 600 people watching right now. So.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, there you go.
Probably need
Hey,
it.
he sat straight up when that happened. He's like, "Oh, gotta go." All right, so IMG Academy to OU. You and Stone, you guys have obviously been teammates the last few years. You guys are best friends. I'm assuming roommates.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so how big of a role was he? Now that you can talk about it, how big of a role was he in your decision? Because he was the one there showing you around
Yeah.
on your visit.
Yep.
Let's we're not gonna front here. Just let's call it what it is.
I mean, now that we can talk about it, basically, he was the main dude recruiting.
Yeah.
I can't lie. He was the main dude recruiting me, pushing me to come to OU. Every time I'd visit Texas, he was just like, "We're not friends anymore," and I was like, "Oh." So, yeah, he was the main one pushing it. He knew everything about this place. It was just crazy. I was like, "This is his home. This is our home."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to the recruitment process, you took official visits to Ohio State, to Miami, to Florida, to Texas, and then, of course, here to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Going into those visits, did you have a strong lean one way or the other as to where you were going to end up playing college football?
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I did have a strong lead at first. Growing up as a kid, I've always been an Ohio State fan. So
You
my
said
family's
Ohio
right there.
State.
Yeah.
You almost committed there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going in, that was the lead. Coach Larry Johnson, just amazing. All of them are amazing. But, I wanted to weigh all my options. So we took all the OVs first and, sat down as a family at a table, and we decided what's best for us. So, yes, sir.
When you took the OU visit, I remember. Okay, so we can say it now. You and I talked off the record,
Oh, yeah.
and you essentially said you were driving in the car as you guys were leaving, and your uncle and your mom asked you, "What did you think of the visit?" And you turned and you said, "I think this is where I want to go." But you were heading down to Texas afterwards.
Yep.
After that Texas visit, were you still sure, or did you have kind of reservations? Because it seemed like everybody thought you were going to Texas, except for a few of us, kind of the week leading up, because we had talked to you about it. But how much did that Texas visit change, and how much obviously the OU visit changed everything for you, but at what point during the OU visit did you go, okay, this is it for me?
Well, just sitting down and talking with Brent Venables. I mean, y'all have met him, of course. Yeah. I've never had that as a coach. Just talking about faith, family, and football. And those are my three main topics that I want as a school. So sitting down and hearing him preach, I was sitting there smiling. I looked over to my mom. She gave me a smile. I think she knew where I was feeling home. And I was like, man, this is crazy. He's not only a coach, but he's more than a coach. That's what I was feeling. He was just talking about family. He puts him first. God, he puts it first. And I was like, that lines up with my morals. And I love that. And just going around with my mom and my uncle, they really made it feel special to us. So, yeah.
Now, we got a super chat question that we'll get to from Mongo, who asks simply, Jaden, do you have any pregame rituals?
Oh, pregame ritual? I'll probably just say just locking in. What I do, I prepare mentally because, the football game, it can go either way. So you got to listen to music. If you got to talk to yourself, just do whatever you need to do to just get prepared. And that's what I do. I sit there and I think about my past. I think about my family and why I play the game. So it's not just for money or anything. It's for more than that. So, yes, sir.
This dude's a pro because Stone's over here clowning on him while he's trying to answer the question, and he looks directly into the camera as to not break stride in his answer. You might have do you want to be a journalist when you get older, on TV? What's your next? Outside of NFL? What's your goal?
A lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually an artist. So
An artist?
Yeah, I do like to draw a little bit here and there. So
do you play the ukulele?
Everyone in my family does, but me. So
Wow.
yeah, it kind of sucks. But,
I think
yeah.
I feel like I saw you tweet a video or a live where somebody was playing. I thought it was you. I didn't.
Yeah.
So let's this has been asked. How long did you know he was going to leave? Honestly.
Honestly,
I've known the kid since he was in 8th grade, so you don't have to BS me. But
all right.
Okay. So
Honest thoughts.
Yeah.
I didn't know until yesterday when he signed. Today when he signed. Like honestly, I'm not gonna say any schools, but you probably know.
Oh yeah.
There's
we talked about
a lot of schools pushing.
Yeah.
And it's just that short term mentality.
Yeah.
And I was getting him to think past that, the long term. Think about the future. So I wasn't sure. I was actually quite scared. I was really scared. Me, a couple of my family, but I'm glad he pulled through. So yeah.
So he started out recruiting you. You ended up recruiting him in a way.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Right. So you mentioned your mom and the conversation you had with Brent Venables that she was privy to, but more so than just that one conversation, as far as your family feeling at home with Oklahoma, what were some of the big things for them throughout the process that they saw, that they felt at Oklahoma, that helped solidify in their minds, okay, this is somewhere we can send our son, our brother to go play football?
Well, a lot of the time you could kind of tell it was like fake smiles here and there. Like it was just kind of like, it didn't feel real, like genuine. And they love me. Family's everything in my family. We put that above everything. So they felt most comfortable putting me here and in care of Venables. So yes, sir. That's what.
Let's talk about Coach Bates. Obviously, he was a critical part of your recruitment. What about him sold you on his ability to coach you and get you to the next level?
Well, I mean, we've all heard of him, but the Power Rangers, I mean, he came from Clemson, and Power Rangers, they were just all first-round picks, interior, Christian Wilkins and all them.
So the Power Rangers are the power line?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. And that's amazing to me. That's the ultimate goal. It's making it to that final step. And just how he develops players, how he teaches them. That's just the type of coach I want to be under. So, yes, sir.
Very popular take amongst the fans right now is that you are the most underrated dude in Oklahoma's whole class. A lot of fans have commented via social media, on the message boards, elsewhere, hey, watching this dude's tape, he looks the part of a high 4-star, potentially 5-star dude. What do you feel like is the strongest aspect of your game, and what strides have you made to try and hone that over the years?
I'm sorry. Can you finish that last part real quick?
Yeah, so what do you feel like is the strongest aspect of your game, and what steps have you taken to kind of develop that over the years?
I'd probably say, just my like awareness, kind of IQ of the game, I feel has put me through a long take. Definitely technique. I kind of am a perfectionist, so I have to get down the technique, and I feel like I just listened to my coach, Coach Ernie Logan. He taught me a lot of technique, and I kind of like, I would sit there and get it until I'd sit there and repeat it to myself until I would get it perfect. So if that makes sense. Yes, sir.
So we had a comment on here, and they asked if you wanted to be in Moana 2.
Oh.
Was that your favorite Disney movie?
I mean, it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It doesn't Meet the Robinsons, if you've seen that.
Oh, come on now.
That's a classic.
That's my guy right there.
Come on now.
He knows his movies.
But yeah, I'll put it like top 15. I'm sorry.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time?
Yeah. Or Disney movie, doesn't matter.
Dang, that's a good question.
In your lifetime, like obviously 18, it's like Disney's like peak right now. Like
oh yeah,
like as far as the movies they put out.
Oh yeah.
So
most definitely.
Well, I guess obviously the Marvel movies. Are you a big Marvel or DC guy?
I'm both, but I kind of like DC as a kid, so I'm still sticking with them, even though they're all over the place right now.
Who's your character?
Batman family, the whole Batman family. Stone thinks he's Batman, but we know the real Batman is. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for those that haven't seen it, And I respect the heck out of the take, by the way. I agree with it. What makes Meet the Robinsons such a great movie?
I don't really know. I gravitated toward it as a kid with my brother. We used to watch it a lot growing up. I don't know. I would just say just a lot of him growing as a kid, as a character. I don't know. Yeah, I just loved it. And there's a lot of life lessons that I was taught as a kid through that movie.
Mike Yagubian, folks. Criminally underrated movie villain.
Oh, yeah.
No pun intended.
Most definitely.
Okay, so what, as far as the SEC away games, we've asked everybody. Xavier said that he's looking forward to Death Valley, LSU.
Oh.
What's your favorite that you're looking forward to as far as away games next year?
Next year, I'd have to go with the top dog. I'm definitely looking forward to playing.
You play them at home, yeah.
Yeah, that's a game I'm definitely looking forward to.
What about an away game? Are you looking forward to the OU Texas game more than anything else, maybe?
Yeah.
Has everybody talked to you about that experience?
Yeah, a lot of people have. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is the main thing they talk to you about?
We had a couple commits at IMG and just a lot of talking trash back and forth. Which one's better? We lost by possession, and I don't want to hear it, but yeah, stuff like that. If that makes sense.
So, on the topic of IMG, having experienced it firsthand, and this is the first time in 6 years that Oklahoma has had a commit period from IMG Academy. Now they got two of them in you and Stone. But how do you feel like your time at IMG enhanced your skill set as a football player and made you better? And how much do you think it made you better?
I think it's made me the most ready I can be. Coming from another school, I really didn't know anything about technique or anything. I was just a run up the guy, run stopper type of dude. When I went to IMG, they taught me not only how to beat that, but how to read the game. If that made instead of running up the field, different type of sets they're gonna do. What the O-line if he's going that way, how to actually read the game. So I feel like IMG is the best readiness prepared that I could ever get. So
the weight facility there, just the strength and conditioning, the nutrition. Do you feel like the readiness you said is they got you ready, but can you kind of expound what makes them so different as far as developmental on and off the field for you?
Yeah. So what they're trying to do basically is they're trying to be a college. They're preparing you as much to become a college student. We wake up in the morning. We have mandatory breakfast where they do check in. A lot of schools don't have that. And then we go straight to workouts. We have a lot of mental sessions. We talk about mental health. That's a big thing, especially high schoolers who are experienced, being away from their family for the first time. We talk about leadership. That's a big role as well. Just a lot of things that a normal high school isn't doing. They're definitely preparing us not only mentally, like I said, but physically as well. We're grinding every day, especially those stairs. We used to hit the stairs all the time. Oh, man. It's just competition. Competition's a big factor as well. If I'm doing good, so is the guy next for me. So that's going to carry the program up. So, yes, sir.
Did you play in the Bishop Sycamore game?
No, I actually came right after that. But, yeah,
Dang
I would have loved to.
Yeah, so, being 16, 17 years old and being away from your family like you are at IMG, does that take some getting used to?
Yeah, at first, I was questioning if it was actually the place for me. But, as time went on, I have to make the sacrifice one day or another, So I'm getting it now so I can get prepared is what I was saying.
The bowl practices, you're coming in here, you're going to get used to the terminology, you're going to get used to basically everything that Oklahoma's going to ask of you moving forward. Is that something that was on your plate, or was this kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision where you're like, you know what, if I'm going to get that opportunity, I might as well go ahead and try to learn the defense as early as possible so that you understand it a little more going into spring?
Yeah. It's always definitely been there. You know, I've always wanted to, no matter what, I always want to get an upper hand. Like, I always want to know the play. Coach Bates sends me and Stone actually different plays every single day. When we met with Venables, he actually asked us a couple questions to see if we were paying attention, and we didn't get one wrong. So I think that this is a great opportunity for me to come in and learn the plays early and get like a head start, if that makes sense.
Jaden Jackson is our guest on the OU Insiders Signing Day special presented by Ugly John's Custom Boats. I have to ask you a very important question, Jaden, and Dylan Gabriel knows the correct answer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see if you know the correct answer. So I'm a big Hawaiian food guy. What is the better Hawaiian chain? Is it Hawaiian Bros or is it Mo Betta's?
Mo Betta's.
That's
Mo
what's
Betta's.
up.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
That
Mo
man
Betta's
knows his
is
stuff.
amazing. The katsu chicken. Musubi. Have you had musubi?
I have not had musubi, no.
Oh, missing out.
That's the Spam stuff, right?
Yeah.
With the seaweed wrapped around it?
And rice.
Okay. I'll have to give that a try.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the recommendation.
He used to drive up to Yukon,
Oh, man.
which is
45 minutes?
45. I live over there.
Dang.
So the what was it, the Hawaiian Brothers?
Yeah, I used to be big on Hawaiian Bros because
Hawaiian
it was
Bros,
all that we had here. Then I tried Mo Betta's. I was like, I'm never going back.
Oh, dang.
Never going back.
Yeah, he used to drive all the way over there by my house just to go get Hawaiian Bros. So
Hey.
the change up. What exactly, as far as like, have you gone around the area here in Oklahoma City that's something you're like wanting to go see, wanting to go do that maybe you haven't done yet? Maybe a Thunder game, something like that. Are you big into the NBA?
No, I haven't actually. I haven't. That's something I would definitely love to do. I've actually never been to an NBA game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I would actually love to, but I haven't really traveled around that much, so
Yeah.
I would definitely going to, in the future.
So when are you guys going to go home now? I guess. Did you have practice today, or like when was the practice? How many?
We start tomorrow, I believe.
start tomorrow?
Yeah.
Practices tomorrow. I think we're just gonna go out and do like indie drills with the coaches. So yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to go down there to San Antonio.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. How excited are you for the bowl experience?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'm not only excited for myself, but I'm excited for my family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of amplified. So I'm pretty excited. Just getting that experience and just seeing it firsthand. I'm on the sideline. It's pretty crazy. So yeah.
You feel like you've gotten the chance since committing back in July to really experience and embrace all of what Oklahoma is, not just as a university, but as a state, as an experience?
What was that like?
All right, I guess I'll ask it this way. Do you feel like you're entrenched in the Oklahoma community at this point?
Yeah, actually definitely. Going around, walking around, there'll be people coming up, big Oklahoma fans. It's just amazing.
They know who you are?
Yeah. I'm pretty in there because there's even this one fan who asked how my mom was. And my mom is like, she's all right on the social media, but it was pretty crazy to me.
I guess when it comes to just your goals for college, what are they on off the field that you feel like maybe they're attainable in year one, and then year 2, 3, and beyond? What are you trying to attain personally, team, all of that?
I want to obtain freshman All-American, me and Stone. That's a big goal. I have to. And while doing that, I feel like the training for that and just grinding off and on the field, I think that'll also lift up the other players, which will ultimately lift up the program. So that's what I'm aiming for, and yeah.
All right, last thing for you before we let you go, Jaden. What is the thing you are absolutely looking forward to the most about being an Oklahoma Sooner, a football player at the University of Oklahoma, and all that comes with it?
I'm looking for the culture. Going in the locker room, it's a different culture. There's not one guy sitting down. It's everyone's in the group. celebrating. It's like this. It's exactly what my hands look like right now. They're all close together, and it's not a team, but it's a family. So yeah.
Jaden Jackson, 4-star defensive lineman from IMG Academy, originally from Indiana, right?
Yes, sir.
From Indiana.
Yes,
there
sir.
you go. 4-star defensive lineman and newly minted Oklahoma Sooners signee, our guest. Jaden, we appreciate your time, man. Been awesome to have a conversation.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you.
All right, that is Jaden Jackson on the OU Insider Signing Day special presented by Ugly John's Custom Boats. Now, we're going to welcome Andy Bass to the show in just a second. Before we do, got to pay a couple bills. Again, Ugly John's Custom Boats is the presenting sponsor of the OU Insider Signing Day special. Ugly John's Custom Boats has been family-owned and operated since 1974, proudly serving the Midwest for everyone's boating needs. 8 locations across Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas. Brandon's going to go take a pee break while I'm doing these ad reads. When he gets back, Andy Bass will join the show. But Ugly John's, if you've ever imagined life on the lake or just want to upgrade your boating experience, let Ugly John's help make your dreams come true. Go to uglyjohns.com, where beautiful people have come to get ugly for the last 50 years. This signing day special is also brought to you by Patriot Audio. I tripped over my tongue there. Patriot Auto Group. That can be a mouthful. Patriot Auto Group is veteran-owned and operated since 2014 with locations in Bartlesville, Chandler, McAllister, Ardmore, Pryor, and Memorial Drive in Tulsa. Patriot Auto Group credits their phenomenal growth over the years to customer loyalty and good old-fashioned word of mouth. Their Patriot Pledge sets them apart from all other dealers. New and pre-owned vehicles both have a limited lifetime powertrain warranty, plus 10 years of roadside assistance, 24/7, 365, and a year of oil changes for free. So give your closest Patriot location a call for all the details or visit gopatriots.com. Andy Bass is our next guest. He's going to join us here shortly. Been an awesome conversation thus far with numerous Oklahoma signees. I'm so used to calling them commits. Signees here at the University of Oklahoma. 27 of them on scholarship in the 2024 recruiting cycle. Looks like we had a mic issue there. I'm going to get this solved here. The mic's not out. Audio inputs to the speaker, audio input to the codec. Okay, we should be good. Not sure what happened there. Should be resolved. We got an hour left. We're going to talk with Andy Bass. We're going to talk with Michael Bass McDonald, and then we'll finish off talking with Jaden. So we were supposed to talk to Jaden Hardy. He bailed out of bail. I guess his phone battery wasn't good enough. He was out to get him on the show. We'll catch up with Hardy at a later date. In the meantime, Michael Hawkins, also another guy that wasn't able to join us last second either. So, go. Andy, you ready? You want to come jump on? Awesome. Sweet. We got to wait for Brandon. We'll have to slide in here, but then we'll get you on. So Brandon's going to, when he gets back, he's going to slide in right here. And then this will be your mic. We'll set you up right here over Jaden Jackson. Is this microphone working? We're experiencing technical difficulties in real time, folks. Bear with us. Okay, that microphone is working. I'm not sure why these ones aren't. Okay, we'll get that figured out. And hopefully we won't have to rotate the exact same mic all throughout the broadcast the rest of the way as we talk with Andy Bass with Michael Patterson McDonald and with David Stone. Where is Brandon? Brandon, where are you at? This is the downside of not having commercial breaks, folks. When you have downtime, you got to fill it one way or another. I'm doing my best here. Going to do this mic check again. Is this mic working? Is this microphone working? Let me know. Let me know on the production end. Wow, not working. This mic once again. How we doing? Any sign of life audio-wise? Well, okay. Okay. That microphone works. This one works. This one does not. I'm not sure what we did. I'm not sure what changed. But apparently all our technology is back in working order. Okay, here's Brandon. It'd be nice. It would have been nice to have a commercial break there. Yeah, but we're doing live programming here. This is what we're about at OU Insider.
I see how hard it is for like the people that do the 4-hour specials. Yeah, there's no way possible you could pull that off without having commercial breaks. Impossible. Just impossible.
Okay, Andy, let's get you on here. Folks, 4-star athlete Andy Bass from Heritage Hall High School up in Oklahoma City. Signed with the Oklahoma Sooners as of today. Andy, well, I guess we got to start first off. How you doing? How's the knee? Where you at mentally, physically after that injury you suffered?
Yeah, doing good. Just been trying to keep my head up these past few weeks. Been grinding PT already. Get surgery in a few days here on Friday. So looking forward to getting that out of the way and getting on the track to get back on the field.
So you got surgery coming up on Friday? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Friday. Mm-hmm.
You say you're excited about it. Is there any? You said maybe some meniscus issues as well. Is that?
Yeah. So the official diagnosis was that I tore my ACL and meniscus. So I'll be getting both those fixed.
I know you don't want to relive it. We saw it happen. Can you kind of walk everybody through? Because it didn't even look like much took place other than when you hopped out of bounds. When was the exact time that you were like, okay, there's something severely wrong?
Yeah, so I was running to the sideline. I had bounced to run, and then, there was really nowhere to go, so I was just trying to get out of bounds. And it was a non-contact injury, so I kind of just pushed the guy off of me. And I planted with my right foot, and I just felt it buckle inside. It popped, had a big pop. So I knew something was up. Tried to walk it off, and I kind of realized I couldn't walk too well. So then I had to go to the sideline. And unfortunately, Dr. JT Glomstead, who's doing my surgery, a great guy, he told me I most likely tore my ACL. So that's when I kind of knew it was over.
So what is it, for those that don't know, what does a torn ACL feel like?
What was that?
What does it feel like? What does a torn ACL feel like?
It actually didn't hurt too bad, and it hasn't caused too much pain since then. It's really just kind of been about getting my mobility back, because for a few days it was having trouble getting straight again. So I've been working hard on that. But really the pain wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned, sorry, I got distracted there for a second. We've been on the air a long time. As I mentioned, leading up to your introduction to the show, you had 66 touchdowns as a senior, 66 total touchdowns. It's my opinion that you're going to win Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma. I would think it a travesty if anybody else did. But having had a strong junior year that earned you some attention on the recruiting trail, having won a state championship at Heritage Hall, man, it's clear that even so, your game leveled up from one year to the next. What do you chalk that up to? How was it that you were able to take such a leap from your junior year, which was productive, to your senior year, which was the best individual season in the state of Oklahoma?
Yeah, I would definitely attribute that. I worked hard. I went down to Dallas a lot to work on my throwing with QB country. Then just worked on my speed. Track definitely helped a lot with that. Ran 10.5. Which, my sophomore year I was running at 10.9, so definitely improved my speed a lot as well, which is a big factor to my play this year.
You weren't even really playing football, 3 years ago?
I played football my whole life, but I had to sit out my sophomore year because I transferred, and then my freshman year I was hurt pretty much the whole year. So my junior year was really my first go around in high school football.
So I talked to some people, obviously Heritage Hall, and they said like they knew you were going to be good, but when you walked out there as a junior, they were just blown away. Your kind of your versatility, your ability to do multiple things. What exactly did you play growing up as far as position goes, and when did you decide, okay, now I'm a quarterback?
Actually played quarterback my whole life. So, going into the running back role, receiver role at OU next year will definitely be a good change. I think it'll be a good refresh on my, just the way I look at football. I've been a quarterback my whole life, so I think that'll be a good advantage for me, just being able to read defenses and know what's going on the other side of the ball.
Give us some perspective on the recruiting process, because you weren't a guy that had an avalanche of offers all at the same time. It was one small offer, then another small offer, slowly increasing in size and magnitude till you get to the point where you got Power Fives coming after you and offering you scholarships. So throughout the process, as you're working in the spring, as your tape is getting around to college coaches, you're in track season, how much did the amount of time that you spent on a daily basis interacting with college coaches via phone call, via text, how much did that increase from, say, January to June?
Yeah, it definitely picks up a lot. Like you said, it started off with the smaller schools, the D2s and FCSs. Got to build a lot of good relationships, meet a lot of good people throughout the process. That's one of the good things about the recruiting process, is just how many people you get to meet and learn more about. So really just getting to travel those places was really cool. And then, you can definitely tell the difference when schools like OU and some of those other Power 5 schools start hitting you up. You can just tell, like, the way they do things, and when you go up to their campuses, things are just real different. So I think at OU, just the family aspect is what separates them from the rest.
So talk about you. So you brought up Oklahoma, obviously. You're signing with Oklahoma. When did that relationship start kicking a gear with you all? And when did you know, okay, this is real? I'm probably going to end up with a chance to play for the school that I've always wanted to play for.
Yeah, I think it all started when I came for camp. I remember seeing Parker when I was warming up. He came over, said, "What's up?" And then we got right into it with the running back drills with Coach Murray. And I knew he was a great coach going into it. And then I just kind of got to see the person he was. And, I really kind of fell in love with OU, the campus, the coaching staff. Then I came back in July for the party at the Palace. And that's when I really knew. I think after that, I kind of knew I want OU.
Now, okay, let's rewind to that day you came to camp, because I legitimately had to do a double take. I was like, oh, wait, that's Andy Bass. Andy Bass is here, because you had just picked up the offer from Syracuse. You had just done the official visit at Syracuse. And look, man, I'll shoot you straight. A lot of kids in your shoes that lived and grew up in the state of Oklahoma and had other Power 5 offers and lost the AirPod. And Oklahoma wasn't one of them. Like, they would have felt a little stung by that, and they probably wouldn't have given Oklahoma the time of day. They wouldn't have wanted to earn the offer. The mindset would have been, well, why haven't you offered me yet? You should. There wouldn't have been the initiative taken to go say, hey, I'm going to go earn this offer from the University of Oklahoma. What was it about that opportunity that made you feel like, okay, this is something I want to do, this is something I need to do, and regardless of who else is pursuing me, I at least need to put myself out there in front of the Oklahoma coaches?
Yeah, I knew that, if I wanted to be able to earn the opportunity to play at Oklahoma, I was going to have to go earn it at camp and show out there. So, I was pretty much grinding all summer. I went to a bunch of camps up until the very last day. I was at K-State the day before the deadline. So I was definitely busting my tail at camps this summer, just trying to, see what I could get, just seeing what every school had to say, really just keeping my ears open to what everybody said. And OU was just, for the whole ride, it just has always been there for me. So
everybody keeps asking in here, and it's not a super chat question, but since it was asked multiple times in the chat, everybody wants to know, how long do you think your recovery is going to be, and when do you think you'll be able to start going through drills with Oklahoma, going through obviously the summer workouts, all that type of stuff, and when do you think you'll be able to do contact?
So there's the kind of the timeline for ACL. It really differs, and a lot of it's just kind of the mental aspect. So I've already been like trying to get mentally right as far as the way that I'm going to attack it and the way that I'm going to think about my knee when I'm going through drills and stuff. But I think if everything goes according to plan and I continue to grind, my physical therapy and keep hitting the weights, I should be back at some point next season for sure.
Would it be accurate to say that a lot of it depends on trust? And I know that's a weird word to use, but like trust in your knee to be able to hold up as you're making certain movements?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I think the mental game of coming back from an injury like that is at least half the battle.
So let's talk about Syracuse, because I'd be willing to wager if Oklahoma had never offered, you'd probably be a Syracuse Orangeman right now. When you went up there for that visit, I mean, that's a long way away. That's in New York, 1,500 miles from Oklahoma. But what did you like about Syracuse? What helped solidify them as one of the finalists for your commitment? And then ultimately, what did you feel at Oklahoma that you found preferable to the opportunity that you had? A full scholarship opportunity at Syracuse.
Yeah, Syracuse was definitely a unique opportunity because they, Coach Beck there had a very unique plan for me as far as kind of using me all over the field. And that was the first time I'd heard that, that kind of game plan for me. So I think that kind of woke me up, I guess, to everything I could do on the field. And then also inspired other coaches. And, at a place like OU, they kind of picked up on that and realized the versatility that I could bring to the field. So super thankful for all the guys at Syracuse that kind of started that vision.
Okay, so you may have just answered that in a roundabout way, but we have a super chat here. It said from Mongo. He said, Andy, in a world where Muleshoe doesn't leave OU, and he said he shudders to think about it, and he doesn't recruit you in parentheses because he's stupid. Where do you think you end up?
So like saying without OU?
Yeah, without OU.
I was really kind of messing around with K-State a lot. They were pushing hard with me all the way up until the day that I committed. Just kind of like it was. I mean, obviously my top three was OU, Syracuse, and K-State, but I really liked K-State a lot. It's not that far from home. The main thing for Syracuse was how far away it was. Like you have to take 2 flights to get there. But yeah, K-State was probably my second choice.
Did you fly into New York City? Is that what your connection was?
We flew into the Syracuse airport, actually.
You said you had to take 2 flights. Mm-hmm. Did you go from Oklahoma City, Dallas to Syracuse?
I think we went through Atlanta. I think that's where we went through.
Atlanta?
Okay. Yeah,
that would make sense.
Did you get to visit New York City while you were in Syracuse?
No, I've been to New York City before,
away, right?
Yeah. I think it's only an hour or two, but I've been in New York City, but it's been a while. So
gotcha.
Okay, so back when you committed, it was late August, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was late August. And at the time, one of the things you kind of emphasized was, hey, like Oklahoma has a plan for me. Jeff Lebby, DeMarco Murray, Emmett Jones, they got a plan for me, how they're going to use me, how they're going to utilize my skill set in this offense. Well, obviously, Jeff Lebby's no longer around anymore. Head coach at Mississippi State. Seth Luttrell is the new OC and principal play caller at Oklahoma. So how much have you gotten to interact with Luttrell since he was promoted to OC, and how do you feel like he can use you versus maybe what the vision was under Lebby, or does it differ much at all?
Yeah, I didn't really interact with Coach Luttrell very much before he got the job, but he got the job within a week or so of whenever my state championship game was, and he was at my state game, which I really appreciated. And I was at practice, last week, got to talk to him a little bit there, and I don't think too much really changes for the vision. I'm, just looking to impact the team in whatever way I can. So
you're going to be a versatile guy in the offense. You played quarterback, you played wide receiver, you played running back. You're probably going to play a lot of wide receiver and running back slot, obviously at Oklahoma. But just given the chance that they have some sort of trick play or some sort of package with your throwing ability, how excited would you be to be able to complete a touchdown pass on one field? Like, would that be fulfilling a lifelong dream?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could do it for sure. I mean, I have no doubt in my ability to step back there and sling it around. But yeah, that would be awesome. I think that just goes with whatever way I can impact the team. I mean, that I think scoring a touchdown in a Sooner uniform would be special no matter how I do it. So I hope that day comes someday.
Hey, Gavin Freeman threw the gauntlet. He scored on his first touch at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's another Heritage Hall guy that made an immediate impact as a freshman. Is that kind of, I mean, not to say there's like a desire to one-up Gavin, but like in the terms of friendly competition, like do you look at what he's done at Oklahoma and say, I want to do that too, or I want to surpass that?
I would say it's more of just kind of a motivation, like, and also just showing me that I can do it. Like, he's been in my shoes before. He came in as a walk-on, and he's just kind of had to prove everything that he's done and just prove what it means to work for things. So that's just kind of more of an inspiration to me, showing me that I can do it too.
But your walk-on's a little different, right? Like, because you're essentially scholarship without being on scholarship, right? Like,
yeah.
Is that kind of okay? How cool is that they've made concessions now to do those type of things with several in-state kids? Because back in the day, that may not have been able to happen, and now you've got a chance to not only play for the school that you love, but like everybody expects you to be able to come in at some point and contribute in a big way. Like, have you been able to wrap your head around the whole fulfilling the dream thing yet?
No, yeah. Committing
or is
back
just the surgery and stuff kind of on your mind right now?
Well,
it's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I've always just kind of had that expectation for myself. I'm kind of just, I try not to get too wrapped up in what other people expect me to do. I just kind of, I have a very high expectation for myself. So it's really just all about fulfilling that for me. And that's I would definitely describe it as a dream to be able to play at OU for sure.
How much growth have you seen across the program as a whole this season? Because obviously when you committed, Oklahoma, they had just come off a 6-7 campaign in year one under Coach Venables. There was some turmoil, right? There was a lot of roster turnover. There was a lot that went into that. But to see the Sooners come out in 2023, score that statement victory over Texas, and end up winning double-digit games, how much of an encouragement is that, and how much does that speak to the change that Venables and his staff are fostering at OU?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've kind of been able to see from the inside too. Like going in the locker room after games, you can just tell that Coach Venables, like what he believes in. And you can tell that just through him, the program's going to be successful no matter what. So, I have full trust in him and the whole staff and all the players that we're going to be able to get the job done no matter who we go against.
Are you going to be able to use a lot of the, obviously, Oklahoma's trainers and their medical team? Is that kind of the move moving forward for you?
Yeah, I'm actually not allowed to. I think I understood you. You were asking like if I can go.
Are you're relief, right?
I'm going in June.
Okay, so
yeah.
you're going. So you can't do that. Okay.
Private school kid.
Yeah, my school doesn't let us early enroll, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, either way, who's going to be doing your rehab? I guess.
I've been working with Steve Carlin up at Echo Sports Physical Training. He does a great job. He works in the major leagues doing physical training for them. He was their head PT for a couple teams. So, I mean, I think he's the best to do it around here. So I fully trust him.
You got top notch. So you're ready to roll, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
You know what jersey number you're going to wear at OU?
Man, I would love to keep rocking 7, but I understand I might not get
available.
That next year.
It is technically available as of now.
Well, I would love to keep rocking that.
Oh, man. What do you think, just in general, because you've obviously been around a lot since you committed, taking a lot of those game day visits, interacted with so many other members of the 2024 class. I know there's the group chat and all that, but like face-to-face interactions with these guys, just getting to know who they are as football players and as people. What can you say about the overall mission and demeanor of the 2024 class that Oklahoma signed today?
I really feel like this class is just on a mission. Like, we're not only to prove ourselves, but like, we're kind of starting something new. So in the SEC, we're the first class. So really just to sum it up, we're on a mission, just to go win games, play together. I think everybody in this class has a chance to make an impact on the team. So super excited.
Have you asked about the roommate yet?
No, I didn't.
Who do you plan on rooming with?
I'm rooming with Taylor Tatum.
How about that?
Oh,
A lot of speed in that dorm.
Have you guys got to know each other?
Yeah. We've been talking a little bit. Yeah, we actually just decided we're gonna be roommates a few weeks ago, so yeah, I'm sure it'll be a great time.
Who would win in a 40-yard dash between the two of you? Obviously, assuming your knee is healthy again.
Yeah, right now I say no chance, but
Are you sure? I think you got it, man.
I mean, I don't know. Wait, do y'all know his 40 time?
Oh,
I think it's
offhand,
4.4,
no.
something like that.
I think you have a better 100.
Yeah.
I think you have a better 100.
Maybe we'll have to race in the 100 then. I'll take myself. I mean, I'm always gonna bet on myself. So
How good are you on crutches right now?
I've gotten pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it just the one crutch that you have to use?
I don't like using both of them. I just
So he's essentially little Timmy off of
Oh gosh,
off of,
seasonally appropriate comparison.
your Christmas Carol.
Well, Andy, man, we appreciate having you on. It's been an awesome conversation. Congrats on signing, and I know there are plenty of fans watching this right now, plenty of fans who have seen your tape and know what kind of player you are that are very excited to see you in the Crimson and Cream. So all the best in your rehab, man.
Well, thank you, Parker. I appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, man. Just want to say the conversation we had on the sideline after you injured yourself, continue to mean that. You've got a big future ahead of you, man.
Well, I'm super excited to get to work. Appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate the opportunity. Boomer Sooner.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Andy. That is Andy Bass, 3-star athlete out of Heritage Hall High School up in Oklahoma City. Well, we're going to cycle him out and the next guest right in. We got to find Michael Patterson McDonald. Where is he? Where is Michael Patterson McDonald? If we can locate him, he's next on the OU Insider Signing Day special. Michael, where are you at? He's ready? All right, let's do this. Come on, man. Take care, Andy. Andy Bass. Going to be a fan favorite, no question about that. And here is Michael Patterson McDonald, 4-star defensive back from Westmore High School, and as of today, an Oklahoma signee. Man, how does it feel to not just have it over with for you, but for your boy Stone, everybody else? You guys are locked in. That's what's next for y'all, is getting to Oklahoma playing ball.
It feels good. It's a blessing. I'm ready to get it all started. I'm ready to get going.
Are you obviously you're a June guy, but you're going to be on the team next year. You're going to be going through fall camp. You guys are going to the SEC. What are you looking forward to for the SEC?
And the SEC, playing against the best, honestly. It's the best in the SEC. It's the biggest conference. It's the biggest stage. I'm looking forward to it. And knowing Smitty, he going to get me ready for it.
Yeah, man. Now, you said you want to get on the field as a freshman. Like, that's your goal, make an impact as a freshman. With the way your junior year went, obviously you had 100-plus tackles. It started earning you some major press on the recruiting trail. Following that up with the strong senior season that you had, what do you feel like, or what areas do you feel like, I guess, a sense of optimism that, okay, I can take this into the SEC and be immediately ready to compete? And what areas you feel like, okay, I still need to improve as a player, still need to get better here, and here to make sure that I'm ready to step on the field next year and make an impact?
One thing, a strength for me is being smart and getting to recognize stuff a lot faster than a lot of others, and seeing stuff a lot quicker than everybody else does. That's one thing that I'm really good at, seeing stuff around the field and learning the playbook. And some weaknesses that I know I have to work on is staying patient. Sometimes I'm impatient. I like to get going. I like stuff to be a fast pace, and that's one of them.
You're again, just like Andy, you're fulfilling a lifelong dream. You wanted to be a Sooner your whole life. You grew up a big OU fan. When that opportunity came, obviously you still talk to Houston, UNLV, Missouri, all those schools. But when that opportunity came, what was your instant reaction? And did you kind of sense that you knew what you were going to do, but you still wanted to play things out just to feel, to make sure 100%?
Yeah, I knew exactly what I wanted to do about a week and a half before my commitment. And I was just like, I want to make sure this is the right choice. So I waited it out, let it keep going, see how they recruited me, see how they talked to me, see how they made me feel as, not only just a player, but as a person as well. And, when that time came, I just knew it was the right choice. I just knew it's where I wanted to be.
Now, you committed on July 31st. Your boy David Stone committed less than 4 weeks later on August 26th. So there was a little bit of drama leading up to his decision.
Yeah.
More than a little bit of drama, actually. And we had Jaden Jackson on earlier, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said, I wasn't even 100% convinced Stone was going to sign with OU until he faxed in his paperwork. So were you ever sweating? I mean, obviously that's a 5-star dude, right? And a position that there are very few 5-star dudes. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the country wants him. Did you ever sweat even after his commitment that he might end up somewhere else?
Definitely. I made sure I stayed on him every day, especially coming up signing dates. Man, he texted the group chat, with some words. We was all confused. We was like, you got to be playing, but he was playing with us. So, but yeah, I was kind of nervous because I was like, I called him and everybody's like, we just waiting on Stone. And I was like, this is weird. I called him and I was like, what you doing, bro? He's like, none, just laying him there. I said, you ain't signed yet? He said, no, not yet. I said, what you waiting on? He said, I'm just waiting on my mom. I said, okay, all right, we'll see. Hung up the phone and then he called me back and he was like, yeah, I just turned it in. I'm just messing with you. I was like, all right.
Okay, hey, super chat question before we go any further.
All right.
Mongo wanted to know, Michael, if you were an animal in the wilds, what animal would you be and why?
What animal? I'll probably have to say probably a Black Panther. They're so low key. Honestly.
I feel like that fits.
Honestly,
I feel like that fits you.
Yeah, I'll probably have to say Black Panther.
You King T'Challa? Huh? You King, what is it? T'Challa? Yeah. There you go. So you brought up Stone, but you guys' relationship, not just him, but Xavier, Marcus, who's committed to Oklahoma in the 2025 class. We got some meals coming in too. All that, just a handful of you guys all played together in Little League. Can you talk about just y'all's time in Little League, the relationship y'all built, and just y'all stay close throughout that whole deal, and the fact that you're all playing together in college?
Yes, definitely. Like in Little League, it was all competitive. Like inside of the football field, inside of those lines, nobody was nice. Nobody wanted to, nobody was buddy. Like all throughout the tournament, nobody was buddy until everything was over with, It was always competitive. They've always been good. We played in the city at Woodson Park, in my opinion, the most competitive in Oklahoma by far when I was playing. A lot of great people came out of there, me, Stone, X, Marcus, a lot of us. And X then was still a dog. He was still big back. X was good. Marcus is good. Stone, Stone. Stone was 6 foot at us being 11, 10 years old. 6 foot towering over everybody. We had this tournament, Beast in the Pink, at Buck Thomas. It was muddy. We were playing Impact, which X played for.
Mm-hmm.
And the quarterback went to throw the ball, and out of nowhere, Stone grabbed the ball out of his hands and took it 50 yards to score. It reminds me of that pick six he had versus IMG.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that same play when I
talking about against St. Francis?
Yes.
Yeah.
When he was at IMG, it reminded me of the same thing, same exact stuff.
Wow.
So Oklahoma's got some pretty solid secondary talent coming back next year. Billy Bowman is back for his senior season. Gentry Williams had a good year when he was healthy as the starter at one cornerback spot. Peyton Bowen is a guy that really impressed when he was healthy and he had those opportunities. And then Woody Washington hasn't made a final decision as to whether he's going to leave for the NFL draft or return to Oklahoma. So there's the potential for Oklahoma to bring back 4 excellent defensive backs that made starts in 2023. For you, coming in as a freshman, especially in June, getting a later jump than some of those guys that are getting on campus in January, how good do you feel like it's going to be for you to get the chance to learn and kind of soak in what guys like that have so much experience in those moments against elite opponents, against elite receivers can teach you?
I feel I'm going to be able to soak all of that in good, especially the leader that I have in front of me, which is Billy. knowing I'm going to be playing behind him, which he's an amazing leader. I see him out there on the field, at practice, in the locker room, the type of person he is. He's a great person. As I see, he's not like everybody else. He's not one of those flashy dudes. He's not one of those dudes who just, does a lot of talking. He's a real football player, like the definition of a football player. And knowing I'm going to be behind him and it's somebody I can look up to. Now, from me being the top dog in high school and going on to college and knowing I'm under him and under everybody else, that's somebody I know I can look up to and learn from and compete with as well.
Let's talk about Coach Hall, Coach Venables, Coach Bates. You've gotten to know those guys really well. Can you talk about what makes them coaches that you not only want to play for, but coaches that you feel comfortable around on and off the field?
Starting with Coach Hall, our relationship is really good, and a lot of the time we don't talk too much football. Like when we talk football, it's me bringing up football. It's not really much of him bringing it up. He talks to me about life stuff, what I want to do in the future, what I'm looking forward to. And him as a person, he's an amazing coach. He's straightforward. He's honest. Like, that's one thing about it. I'd rather have honesty than anything else. I don't want any promises made because I know promises, none of them are guaranteed. And Coach Venables is an amazing person, amazing coach. He's straightforward as well. He's all about work. I see him, how intense he is out there during practice, and he's very intense. Same with Coach Bates. They're all intense. Like when it comes to coaching, but them as a person, when it comes to building that relationship with you outside of football, it's amazing. It's true.
Now, heading into the SEC, the game's going to get a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
More physical. Like the demands on all of you are they're going to get higher. There's going to be more asked of you because of the level of competition that you're going to face in the SEC. Now, as you think about what that means in the weight room, and I know we've had conversations about Schmitty in the past, like, is it something that intimidates you at all? Like not knowing what you're showing up for in June, or is it something that you're embracing? Like, hey, whatever, no matter how much I'm going to be stretched physically, it's going to be good for me in the end.
Oh yeah, always. One thing you can't get. There's no such thing in my eyes, honestly, as getting prepared for Smitty. It's what I heard. You can't get prepared. You do your work. On an off time before you get there, do what you do. But when you get there, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different level. And so I'm not nervous for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a new challenge, something new, something that's going to push me past my limits, push me how I've never been pushed before.
Have you seen the workouts that they've done?
Oh yeah.
Have you been there in person while they've
I haven't been there in person, but I've seen some videos.
Have you heard the stories?
I've heard a lot of stories, especially
without naming names. What is the most crazy story? That is PG, obviously.
The most craziest story I heard was a player getting kicked out of lifts. And when you get kicked out of lifts, you gotta get on the Stairmaster, or you gotta go do something else, right? And then after that, you also gotta go finish the whole workout, restart the whole workout. So that player couldn't get past the Stairmaster. So you know what? Next day, no lift for him. He still gotta try to get past the Stairmaster and do the lift. And plus, he got another day of lift on top of that. So that player actually was a big-time player who ended up going on to play in the NFL. He couldn't get through the workouts at all. And that's a story I found out about a week ago from the coaches. Coaches telling me about it, talking to me about Smitty. And I was just like, that is crazy.
Wow.
The legend is that the only player Smitty couldn't break was Adrian Peterson. So the time comes for everyone, unless you are quite literally superhuman, as AD was and is for that matter. Let's talk about Brent Venables, the defensive mind that he is, and the way, obviously when Oklahoma hired him as head coach, the vision, and the Sooners knew they were going to the SEC at that point. That program was under that impression. They had that understanding. They brought him in to revitalize things on the defensive side of the ball, obviously to provide leadership from the top, but he's the best defensive mind in college football. You bring him in with the idea, with the design, that he's going to help improve the overall quality of play on the defensive side of the ball. In interacting with Coach Venables, can you give us some firsthand insight as to how his mind works and just how much football acumen is truly present in his brain?
A lot more than I expected, because a lot of head coaches, they're involved, but I don't think they're involved how he's involved. Like he's the scout team quarterback for the defense.
Jimmy Green Beans.
Like, and he be dotting the defense up. I'm not gonna lie, he can throw, but like the way how intense he is when it comes to it, somebody messes up, he gets on them, but when he gets on them, he shows them how to correct it. He doesn't just get onto them. Hey, you're not supposed to do this. It's get to where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be here, so get there, do better. Come on now. It's not just putting you down, but he's also lifting you up in the moment too. Because he wants the best for everybody out there, and his mind, his defense, it's changed. It's changed Oklahoma. From him coming in, second year being the head coach, it's changed us a lot, and everybody's seen the change. And him going out and getting the best defensive people out, defensive players out, is good for us. Heading into the SEC, especially with our in-state kids as well. Recruiting the in-state kids more.
So you keep talking about the mindset's changed and everything's changed under BV. For the players that you've talked to on the team, what have they said has been the biggest difference? The ones that were under the previous regime, to now, like what have they said has been the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is how how clean they are now. Before then, it wasn't as clean, and that's something that they're strict about, is making sure everything's clean, making sure everything's in order. Everybody getting to stuff on time, making sure nobody's lacking or anything. Them staying on them about eating, like a lot of stuff that I've noticed. A few players that I talked to that were under Lincoln Riley and stayed and is under BB now is the type of person they are. And that's a big thing with me is, you have some kids who come in there all big-headed, all talk, all this and that, and then, when BB gets in, they're a whole different person. And that's one thing that's important to him, is being close to God and going to church. He just changed the mindset of a lot of people and what they do and how they do stuff.
Okay, man, before we let you go, first off, how awesome is this? We're out here at Sooner Daquiri here on Main Street in Norman. Your dad runs this place.
Yeah, well, I want everybody to see this. Look at the food here.
Oh, man. Hello.
Look at the food.
Hello.
Here.
So my question to you was going to be, what kind of wings do I need to get once we're off the air?
I have barbecue, but like, what kind of taste do you like?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of open to anything. Like I don't have one that I'm set on whenever I go into a wing place.
There is a flavor, honey sriracha.
Honey sriracha?
I think
that sounds good. Sounds like something I could get down with.
Yeah, honey sriracha. I think that would be good. Or the barbecue. It's not too barbecuey, but it's sweet too.
Okay.
So it's like honey barbecue. It's really good.
So that's sweet with the zing. Yeah. Okay.
So that's good. And then the lemon pepper. Everybody been eating up the lemon pepper. Lemon pepper.
Oh, lemon pepper. Yeah, that's where it's at. I could go for some lemon pepper.
Honey sriracha is new to me. That's one that I'm gonna try.
They're asking you what you want. Go ahead and order it so they can get it to you. What do you want to eat?
Oh, gosh, I got to order my wings right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lemon pepper? Is that the move? You feel like that's the move? Okay, let's do that then. Yeah, lemon pepper.
There we go.
All right. Dude, you go enjoy your wings. Let's get your boy Stone in here, all right? All right, it is time to talk to the 5-star here on the OU Insider Signing Day Special, presented by Ugly John's Custom Boats. David Stone is in the house. He joins us now.
David, you ready?
You ready to go, David? He's dapping everybody up.
He's dapping everybody.
Here we go.
Dude, he looks like you seen that skit on Chappelle? So you seen that skit on Chappelle where like he's like slow walking himself in there and he's like high-fiving everybody? You know what I'm talking about? That's what it looked like when you I wish people could see. There is a horde of people literally video cameraing and watching the last 3 interviews. Like you cannot walk through this area. It is so packed. It is a really, really awesome atmosphere here.
Awesome atmosphere here at Sooner Daquiri in Norman. definitely stop by, give this place a try. Again, today is their first day of business. So brand new spot right next to the garage here on Main Street. Awesome place to grab a daiquiri, grab some wings. And if you're here tonight, obviously, get to see a 5-star in the house and several other Oklahoma signees that just inked their letters of intent this morning. Now, we're doing selfies.
Well,
okay.
no, I'm going to tweet it.
Okay. I got you. So we're here with the 5-star David Stone. And David, let's start first things first. We got to talk about the comment that Jaden Jackson made earlier. We talked to Michael about it too. Jaden Jackson was like, man, I wasn't entirely sure Stone was going to sign with Oklahoma until that paperwork hit. Because obviously you're a 5-star. The position you play, there are very few 5-star dudes. You could have gone anywhere in the country. You chose to stay home and play for the University of Oklahoma. Why?
Yeah. So, man, I was texting Jaden earlier, just letting him know. I was keeping up to date. That's my guy. So, Miami, man, they've been calling, texting, like days leading up into it. That was actually the first NLI I got was from Miami, so that's at my house right now. But, man, I was like, nah, I just sat down. I let him know, like, hey, I appreciate the opportunity. Like, it was a good process, getting to a better relationship with you guys. But, I'm a Sooner at the end of the day. I appreciate the opportunity. It's all love on my end. And I just let him know, I'm a Sooner. There's nothing else to it. Ain't no swaying me, I'm locked in. So up until like 9 a.m., I was trying to figure out how to sign my signature on the DocuSign online. I've never had to do it like that before. So, how to get those papers turned in. So it went all smooth, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to ask you, you tweeted out the games are done, all that. I guess was it Monday, Sunday, something like that? The games are done. If you're not with us, you're against us. Yeah. It's time to work. Without getting into great detail, what was that about?
Man, it's been some crazy times here recently. So I'm not going to really say no names. It's all love on my end with the guys that decided to part. But as much as I love those guys, I love the program more. And at this point, I can see, people are starting to get their heads worried about, situations, people leaving, okay. But I just want people to know that, this 24 group is special, man. We're coming in and we see what the program has done, what it's been, and we can only, go forward from now on. And so leading up into that, the 23s or whoever, decide to leave the transfer portal after it opened up, we saw guys jump in. And I'm like, all right, man, it's only leaving the room for the next man to step up and handle their business. All right, if you want to leave, go ahead and part ways. We're going to keep doing what Sooners do, and it has to be great. And, the people decided to depart. I felt like, okay, you can leave. We're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to keep rolling forward. The cover wagons, we're going to go full steam ahead.
That's what's up. Now, we got a super chat question. Mongo asks, David, how cool was it to play with the Jaden Jackson at IMG Academy?
Hey, man, Jaden's my guy, man. I can't lie. It's been a blessing, just to see him grow. That's someone, I truly value it. I can call someone, my brother. Just being able to see him every day, just pick his brain a little bit, talk to him, keep him level-headed about everything. Because, sometimes he can get in his own way. And I just like to, remind him, like, hey, man, you are destined for greatness. We both are. And, just as much as you correct me with the little things, I'm going to correct you too, man. I'm going to keep you focused. And that's really, at the end of the day, why I decided to come to Oklahoma. And really why he decided to, man, blood can make us no closer. I can't lie. We didn't been through so much together. And if only he would here to, see this, or, I could tell him, man, I love him to death. Like, that's my best man at my wedding right there, man. Like, these days heading into college, it's been rough. It's been real bumpy, but, he always been there for me and I've been there for him. And it's just, all love on my end.
So you brought up the transfer portal. You've got a lot of friends throughout college football, being that you've you've become such a household name, obviously. Without obviously naming names, do you have like players you feel that could come to Oklahoma that you know that maybe even would be interested in down the line, that you'd be like, you know what, you guys could win a natty together type deal? Has there ever been conversations like that behind the scenes?
Yeah, man, of course. I'm steady recruiting, trying to get guys to come play with me. I only want to play with the best. And if I feel like you, one of the guys who can contribute to this program, I'm always, put a word in for coach. Be like, hey, man, I think this guy should come. Look real good on film. His character is real great, off the field. He had no issues. And, his work ethic is excellent. And so, hey, if you always want to, come be a Sooner anytime, hey, yeah, it's a spot right next to me on the line. We can make something do what it do in the SEC.
Okay, David. So let's talk about this 2024 class. You're obviously the highest ranked signee that Oklahoma inked today. Oh, whoa. Okay, I got to redirect because I was going to ask you a question, but we got to get to our Super Chat questions. They're piling up. Becca in the Super Chat asks, other than Texas, what game for you is circled on the calendar next season?
Hey, I got a few games, man. Alabama for sure is one I'm definitely like, hey, I got to come, ready for business that game. That's the game, I can showcase what I can really do at a high level. Mizzou, I want them boys, they've been talking too much. I gotta shut that down. They've been doing too much talking on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm a Sooner, man. I don't know where this delusional Stone and Mizzou thing came around from, but hey, I'm shooting it down.
It's the Williams Winery stuff. I think that all is where that started.
Yeah, let's go ahead and shoot that down right now, man.
You
I'm
got
locked.
you got that chip.
Look, right here. All in, man. I'm all in to the program right there. David Stone, go. Sooner Nation.
There you go. All right. Mike Loggins wants to know. I know you want. Yeah, fits right in. I know you've seen the Mizzou fans talking all the smack on Twitter. How ready are you to go shut them down? Glad you came home, Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. But them guys, man, I don't know what it is. I don't even want to know. But, hey, it's just another team I can circle on the calendar. That's all it is. That's all I see it is. And, it's just another stepping stone to where I want to be, the NFL. And so I'm going to take it as it comes, day by day, week by week.
By the way, folks, I want it to be known that Brandon and I did legitimately consider wearing suits to the function today. We ultimately decided, you know what, that's too formal for an occasion like this. So here we are in hoodies, and we're 2 hours, 45 minutes deep, and I'm eating wings and fries on the air. But that's just how we roll. Now, next Super Chat question comes from Bryce. He asks, David, how excited are you to put a beat down on Texas? They're really baiting you here.
Oh, man.
They want the bulletin board material.
When it comes to the Longhorns, man, the hatred is real deep. Man, I got some guys from IMG over there. There's love for them dudes, but when we stood up, man, they my enemies. I'm giving them everything I got to come out on top of that game, man. Ain't no time for nothing, leaving no doubt, nothing on the table. I want to handle business right early that game, get it shut down quick, come out 1-0 my freshman year against that team, and end up 4-0 leading out as a Sooner, man.
So, have you ever been to an OU Texas game before?
I've always seen it on TV, man. I've never.
So you've never experienced the atmosphere.
Boy!
So are you hyped up for that?
I mean, I hear the legends about it, how wonderful it is, the atmosphere, everything. How it's just real competitive, and I love to compete, man. So I can't wait to be on the field. I don't know what it's gonna be like come game day, but me looking around in the stadium, I can just imagine myself on the field, man, standing around looking, and finally be able to say I'm here, I made it, I get to do what I want to do.
You're out of the Big 12, so guess what you can do after you sack a quarterback?
You can throw the horns down.
You can throw the horns down now. And nobody is talking about that.
Of course.
Like, that was a penalty in the Big 12. It is not a penalty in the SEC.
Hey, man, of course. That's
At least not
that's
yet.
a given.
Not yet.
A given.
I don't think Greg Sankey's that type of guy, though.
I don't either.
Probably not. Probably going to let that slide.
He likes petty. He likes petty.
Okay, another Super Chat question from Ray Peltz. Are you looking forward to helping the other guys on the defensive line up their game and bring that same energy? Thanks.
Man, it's a thing, man. I talk to them dudes pretty much every day. I'm going to be giving them my all. And when I say that, man, I got 100% I can give, but I'm going to try to go past that, man. I know I got so much time I can just pour into getting better. And if you want to get better, you can just come with me, man. I'm gonna lead you in the right direction. I tell Jay all the time, hey, man, we going to be working. We didn't come here to, for the fans or anything like that. This is personal for me and him right now, man. We got family that we got to, support, and that's depending on us. And man, we got no room for error at all. No rooms for slip-ups, mess-ups. It's our freshman year. I'm telling them we got to lock in, day out. Spending extra time in the film room, studying anything that we can get to get the edge on our opponents and, come out and dominate at a high level, and that's what we're going to do.
So your relationship with Coach Bates, your relationship with Coach Venables, your relationship with Coach Chavis, just the overall staff at Oklahoma, how much did that play into the decision? Because you were a constant at the camps there for a little bit with Coach Bates. And the one thing you told me the first year was, I just want to learn from him. He's put so many guys in the league. Is that one of the reasons why you chose Oklahoma, was just his track record of taking guys like you and making them first rounders?
Yeah, man, that's definitely played a big role into it, man. If you look at the numbers, the way he's done, it doesn't. Not many people can match up to it, and that's anywhere across the country. And the thing is, man, I trust Bates wholeheartedly, man. He's been recruiting me hard since he first got there. I remember, man, he told me I was one of the first people he called that day, and not that day, but like that around that week, just to let me know, like, hey, he's serious about it. And ever since then, man, we've been in constant communication. Studying. He always sends me little clips of just NFL guys, even the team, just to say, okay, this, Bob Swipe inside, easy way to get a sack, just anything, just I can use and just to see, to break down the film, to learn to get better. And man, we've been in the playbook ever since, our season ended. I've been studying hard, trying to learn the plays as soon as possible to come in and give me the best chance to succeed and start as a freshman.
Okay, first off, to whoever asked why I'm not eating ketchup with my fries in the YouTube comments, it's because ketchup is gross, and that is a take I will stand by. But back to the Super Chat. Eric Blomquist wants to know, if Texas dropped a bag, double what OU has, would you go play for Texas?
This is the thing. Okay, so
here we go.
The numbers were never really a thing for me, and so I turned down some crazy numbers. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm letting people know right now, I didn't come here for the money or anything like that. I came here simply for the love of OU and Sooner Nation, man. I really, really appreciate the love I get from the school, the supporters from all around the country, and the money was never a thing. And if Texas tried to quadruple it, I still wouldn't pick Texas, man. It's just the hatred for them. No amount of money in the world can make me want to go to that school. I can't lie.
Put that on a billboard somewhere.
No amount of money can make you play for Texas. That was awesome. All right, David, be honest. How good are you at Fortnite? Jordan Hanlon's you.
Okay, so this past season I was I think I got to champion, and I was like on the verge of hitting unreal, which is like the highest you can get on the game. And then I used to compete for some cash cups and stuff like that to make money around anytime I could. I'm pretty decent. After the new season, I stopped playing, just to chill, take a little break, and that's when I flew back home to start enjoying everything.
Okay, I mean, we're really getting to the hard hitting stuff in the Super Chat. Tai Chin wants to know, how you gonna get DJ Hicks to come play next to you next year?
Hey, that's my guy, man. I've been talking to Dave all the time. I texted him recently. I let him know, like, man, we always got a spot for you. If you want to come, hey, I'm not gonna like push you or anything like that, but I'm gonna let you know. if you ever decide you're looking for another home, it's always a spot. You're next to me on the line, and I got you. We can, go dominate together.
Speaking of that, and not specifically DJ Hicks, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, Dalen Evans and a guy by the name of Dominic McKinley.
Yeah.
What do you think of those guys, the relationship you have? Maybe my mic's gone, but I asked him about Dalen Evans and Dominic McKinley. Do you have a relationship with those guys? Obviously, Dominic McKinley you do, but do you know Dalen Evans?
Yeah,
and
man.
how hard are you pushing them to join you?
So it's crazy. So, man, I've met a lot of people on this recruiting trail. I've met a lot of D linemen. I've got to, see them play, things like that, camps all over the country, man. And Dalen was actually one of the first people I met, on the trail. This is before I had like A&M as an offer, which is one of my first 10. And so, man, I've been knowing him for a while, man. Just me and him cool. We can talk whenever. He has my number, social media, anything like that. And Dominique, man, I be trying to text him, like, hey, man, you need to come be a Sooner. I'm telling him, you need to come be a Sooner. I want you here on the team with me. The guys want you on the team with us. But, hey, man, like I said, if you're not with us, you're against us. In between, you can't have one foot in the boat, one foot out the boat. You either on board or you overseas.
Okay, David. It's the very tail end of the show here. We're wrapping up right here, right now. Gonna basically let you have the floor before we call tonight here on the OU Insider Signing Day special. If there was a single message that you wanted to share here on signing day with the fan base as a whole, man, you got their eyes and ears on you right now. What do you want to say to them?
Man, it's a lot I can say. I'm just grateful for the opportunity that's been given to me. It's a dream for Oklahoma kids to grow up to play in Oklahoma. Man, there's much kids, in the world that's been watching me from all over, man. I just want you to know that you have an opportunity to do something special. To stay focused, locked in, and keep working, man. I promise you, they'll find you. They'll come get you from all over, wherever you're from Hawaii to all the way to Hong Kong, even if it is, man. I just want you to know, man, let's always inspire Sooner Nation. Man, this is one of the best fan bases that you could ever be a part of, one of the best teams you could ever be a part of, one of the best programs, schools, whatever. If you want to be great, it's the place to be. Sooner Nation, man.
There we go. 5-star defensive lineman David Stone, folks, the highest ranked signee in Oklahoma's 2024 recruiting class. This has been the OU Insider Signing Day special presented by Ugly John's Custom Boats. David, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome. Been an awesome experience here tonight at Sooner Daquiri. And, man, Sooner Nation is behind you. That much is for certain. Go make them proud.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. That's going to do it for us here.
One more thing.
Oh, hold up.
SEC, All-American. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. It's going to be something big. I'm going to make it happen as soon as possible, man. I'm coming for it. Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman.
Boom. There we go, baby. That is all she wrote for the 2023 installment of the OU Insider Signing Day special. We're here at Sooner Daquiri in Norman. I've got a half dozen wings to chow down on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head to OUinsider.com and become a member for just a few bucks a month. It's a very good investment, trust me. I don't know if it's as good an investment as these wings. We're about to find out. But once I get definitive word on that, I'll let y'all know. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next year on the next installment of the OU Insider Signing Day special. Merry Christmas to all of you. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll have Alamo Bowl content coming your way very soon. Until then, for Brandon Drumm, for David Stone, and the rest of the Oklahoma 2024 signing class, I am Parker Thune. Take it easy, everybody.